Check 1 2. Check 1 2. So family, as people like to say, come on in the room. Like it's a chat room, you know what I mean? Come on in the room. Everybody in the room, come on in the room. Anybody in the room? Y'all know I got a clown, Tariq Nasheed. He be telling people like it's a chat room, like this is the year 2000. Hold on, I'm watching myself. But anyway, family, how y'all doing? I know people gonna fall up in here pretty fast. I've got a lot of emails. Somebody press 7. How do I sound? Do I sound all right? Professor, how do I sound? Well. Sean from the Shy, how do I sound? Do I sound all right? Am I too loud? Talk to me. Anyway, family, tonight we got an amazing. Priscilla is I star. Does that mean Priscilla is a star? Dr. America. See, a lot of people kept their doctor degree that I passed out. Queen Samerica, she became a doctor on Morse royalty. We make doctors here and everything. That's right. If people on the internet can become doctors, we made doctors here, and the Queen Samerica has been a doctor ever since. That's right. What up, my yacht? Y'all coming up in here today. Y'all want to hear Doggie Diamonds? Hey, now listen. Every time that I say my brother's name, Doggie Diamonds, I make sure that I say Doggie Diamonds instead of saying Dougie Diamonds. You know what I mean? In Baltimore, we say Doug, but I be practicing, man, because you know, he don't have no filter. You know what I'm talking about? He don't have no filter. So I got to say Doggie Diamonds because he going to say, I get it, but it's Doggie Diamonds. You know what I mean? Because you say dog and we say Doug. You say frog and we say frog. You say street and we say screet. You say shrimp and we say scrimp. You know, that's just so I've been getting it right. Family. I've been getting it right. But anyway, family, let's get this started. I want each and every one of you to do me a favor. Do me a quick favor. Make sure you thumbs up the video, share it twice. You know what I mean? You got two, each and every one of us got 2 social media platforms. I mean, I know you do. You know we're shadow bland, we're blackballed and all that, whiteballed and whatever you want to call about it, pause. We all that, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, what's up, my yacht? With that being said, help us to get this message out. If you feel that the message need to be heard, share it to 2 platforms. You know what I'm talking about? Share it to 2 platforms if you're able to. But with that being said, family, we got to go ahead and get going, family. We got to get going. We ain't got a whole bunch of time. You know what I mean? We got to get going. We ain't got a whole bunch of time, family. I hope everybody in here tucked in. You know what I mean? Put the seatbelt on because it's time to get busy. I'm about to crack my caboose because this gonna be something for me too. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those who speak against the prophet, they speak against me. What up, Sean from the Sky? Even Willis, right? Boogie. You and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you wasn't black. Proved it was straight back. You tripping off drugs, tripping off that. They coming in the building. Acting like you a slave. The same people talk European on the babe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for sex, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you working than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Body working for the people. They tell me what's your purpose. Hey, word the homie, I know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for dough. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my shirt, my schools, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of procrastination and debate. Come on now, we gotta start somewhere. Love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, murray out in the street. If you ain't the Moorish world, we get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. There we go. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. Listen to homie. Hey, listen. Hey, listen to me, family. Listen, I'm gonna play one more song. Cause I got Doggie Diamonds in the building, family. I gotta play one more song. I'm trying to get signed to Doggie Diamond Records at 50 years old. When you see these old dudes rapping, I can outdo them. So let's just take it off with the new joint. Here we go. We ain't no internet profit. And then we coming with Doggie Diamonds. Let's go. Let me tell you what I do, man. Come on, rock with check 1, 2. Remember Tariq, man? It's the best that ever did it. With the help of my brother and all the good people on the north side. Y'all some internet prophets and you need to stop it. Someone catch you on the block and cock it. Or catch you at your lecture and rock your knock. Yeah, man and me, cause I'm exposing your rhyme. See, I used to be a robber, I was robbing the thugs. And the agents in the hood selling nasty drugs. I was only 17 and I didn't know better. Put them things in their faces. Give me the challenge. But it really amazed me, the age of 40, that people will use the things that would annoy me to rob our people like Bibles and Qurans. Take your money and then they're gone. Shoot, selling, plagiarize books and dreams of unity. Blame the European, but look what you do to me. Got me thinking we gon' overcome, but when you cut your camera off, you really wanna know. You don't have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the burbs. What up, Peter? Your crystals, your books, your herbs. You convinced everybody that it's white supremacy. The fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You been lying to the people fat in your pockets. You ain't nothing but an internet profit. You gonna have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the burbs. With your homes, your crystals, your books and herbs. Now they calling me the out cause I revealed the scam. They will shake your hand and still grip your fans. Say Hotep, peace, black power, shalom. Assalamu alaikum, praise the Lord in Islam. At the same time plotting to get in your pocket. They were white label sunglasses, cups and watches. Make a profit for the enemy they talk about. I can't understand why you ain't been walking out. You ain't noticed since you met them, you slipping in life. On Twitter like the pipe and it just ain't right. Bank account got light and you haven't seen the light. You burn all the sage and ain't change your plight. Incense burning, crystals turning. Think to yourself, what you really learned, what you really saw. You gave him your all. He owned a museum club and the internet mall. Selling deodorant and hurry up and buy. You don't really care if you're broke and you die. You just acting like you don't care either. This is pure evil. I have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the burbs. With your ultra crystal, your books, your herbs. You convinced everybody that it's white supremacy. The fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pocket. You ain't nothing but an internet profit.
You gonna have to watch your back for the rest of your life. I know,
we about to get
well,
right.
you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the burbs with your unks, your crystals, your books and herbs. You gonna have to watch your back for the rest of your life.
Gonna be monumental.
Well, you can't sleep at night. Come on. You done robbed
don't let it
everybody
play
from
out.
the hood to the burbs with your unks, your crystals, your books, your herbs. You convinced everybody that is white supremacy. The fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pockets. You ain't nothing but an internet profit.
Family, let's welcome our brother Doggie Diamonds in the building. This is one of my, he don't even know it, but this is one of my unagreed to mentors. And what I try to say is I watch him and I watch his style and I say, how can I flip some of the things that he do into what I do and go to another level? Because what you're looking at right now, what you might don't know, what you're looking at right now is a treasure trove of information, experience, and a journalist diamond right here. I'm telling you, family. Listen, everybody. Now I big up my people. I don't give no man flowers. I tell the man the truth. You know what I mean? If you a scam and a fraud, I'm gonna tell you are. If you the real deal, I'm gonna tell you are. I ain't giving you no flowers, Doggie Diamonds. I ain't giving you no flowers.
I don't want no flowers from no man.
Hey, you know what? I got that one from Doggie Diamonds.
Yeah, I don't want no flowers from the man. We take a salute.
But I'm gonna give you the props that I know that you deserve, because you inspired many, and many people don't give you that prop.
Mentor many too.
Yeah, and they don't give you the props that you deserve. But I'm gonna tell you, I watched you from the sidelines. I enjoyed your content before the internet got popular, and I enjoy it now. One thing that I want to share with people is that some of the most monumental interviews that you would ever hear about, all you got to do is Google your favorite rapper and put Doggie Diamonds beside it. And it will come up. That's all you got to do. Just Google your favorite rapper, and because I can't name them all, but Google your favorite rapper.
Either. I think I got more unreleased than y'all saw though.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to put that out there, family. And so, Doggie Diamonds sleep, eat, drink, slobber, throw up, regurgitate, bring it back around. Hip hop. He's the journalist. He's the journalist. So when I speak on hip hop, as I was the other day, I'm actually speaking from one outside of the mecca of hip hop, which is New York. But when you want to know about hip hop, the best people that you can get to speak on is one who was rapping in it, DJing in it, dancing in it, graffiti artist in it, or one that was covering it. Today we got one that was covering it. So with that being said, Doggie Diamonds, what's going on, big bro?
I'm chilling, man. I'm just glad to be here. We had a off the record discussion that led to us doing this. And you know, these conversations is needed because it could be for two different things. It could be for our correction or somebody else's correction, but conversations is always needed. And I think it's not enough conversations from qualified people. See, everybody talking, but that don't mean everybody's qualified to speak.
So Bang Bang Boogie said, correction, the Bronx is the home of hip hop. I said New York as of New York City, but I think we all cleared that hip hop started in the Bronx. Would that be the assessment from our panelist expert? Did hip hop start in the Bronx, Doggie Diamonds, according to your experience, research, and associations as a journalist?
I mean, you have a documentary out there called Founding Fathers that says different, that it could have its origins, some origins in Queens and in Brooklyn, that the founding father Kool Herc came down and saw the Jamaicans in Brooklyn with the sound sets, was playing stuff, and he took it to Harlem. I mean, not to Harlem, to the Bronx. So we have a lot of conflicting stories, but if we want to be politically correct, we could say the hip hop started in the Bronx. I don't know what that means.
But let me ask you this. So you know, around the internet, in the series that I'm doing here it's no secret. The series that I do here concerning the division that the FBA has really reinforced in our community against people who may be Jamaican, Caribbean, or wherever they may from outside the United States, but of African origin and descent. And one of the conversations is what I thought was very important to have this conversation, because one of the conversation is that Fat Joe claim or make us a statement that Puerto Ricans had a hand in creating hip hop, and then Buster had a conversation that Jamaicans had a hand in creating hip hop, or used the term Caribbean or something, and that started. Now we hear that Tariq Nasheed is creating a documentary on the true foundation of hip hop. And I just thought that was odd, because there's, as you just mentioned, there's many documentaries out there, there's many books out there, there's many articles out there about the foundation of hip hop. So the argument now is, who founded hip hop? What would be the consensus of hip hop? As you said, the Kool Herc going to Queens, and then he brought it back to the Bronx. What is the common consensus? And then let's see if we can could it stand the litmus test?
The common consensus that everybody says the hip hop trilogy would be Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, Grandmaster Flash. Right.
Okay.
At one particular point, I remember Bam being a little higher than Herc, but because of the allegations against Bam, I feel like he got omitted out of hip hop history. I'm dead ass serious.
They erased him.
Got him up out of here.
He fell right.
He got up out of here. They got him up out of here. But the Zulu Nation, because remember, Kool Herc never made no records. I think he had like one record.
Right.
Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force actually made songs. So if you created hip hop, your MC was Coke La Rock. That was your MC, but you had Kool Herc, and when they had the Herculoids, right? But Bambaataa actually had the Soul Sonic Force, and then he had babies. See, people don't understand how big the Zulu Nation was. You had Tribe, you had the Jungle Brothers, you had the Native Tongues. They're all babies of the Zulu Nation. You understand what I'm saying? So once those situations, once them allegations came out about Bam, they just got rid of him. They wiped him out. They just, you don't hear no talk of him. You know,
yeah, I feel you.
And I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if that's deserving to him, because we can't, no matter what somebody did, if they added on to the culture, we got to keep that. But we could get rid of the man. You understand what I'm saying? So I want people to understand that if he added on certain things to the culture, yes, he added on to the culture. Now, what he did outside of the culture, that's his thing. You understand what I'm saying? That's his thing. But he just got omitted. They got him up out of here. Like, he wasn't at no celebrations. He wasn't at nothing, you know. And I don't know if that's 100% fair.
And what somebody, Mellow Street Vibes TV said, Kool Herc would not be in the hip hop documentary. And that makes sense, because he's trying to say that Kool Herc would be under his classification, would be a tether. Kool Herc would be a tether.
All these dudes is tether, though.
Yeah. But
you know that?
But that's, are we going to get into that? Well, I wish I had my bomb on me. Listen, so Mellow Street Vibes TV said that he's not going to be in the documentary because he's trying to push the narrative that hip hop was created exclusively by what he called FBA. Now, anybody that was born a descendant of a slave, he automatically classified them with or without their permission, FBA. And he's saying that FBA's created this and no other group had nothing to do with it. Now, Kool Herc is Jamaican American. Now, who else was in that creation of the art form that you was about to mention? Anybody else?
Bambaataa and Grandmaster Flash.
Stop playing, brother.
Yeah, they're if I'm not mistaken, they're both Bajan. They're both from Barbados.
Stop it.
Bajan American, both of them.
Stop it.
Yeah.
So it kind of now listen again, family. I don't want to put Doggie Diamonds into the series that I'm doing on Tariq Nasheed. That's not what it's about. But for the sake of the conversation, I gotta use and say his name because this is what made me think of the conversation. Because I'm of the thought that Tariq Nasheed is not only cashing in, but he's also picking the scab of differences, and these differences that we have amongst each other is which I think it should unite us, get to know more about one another, et cetera, as opposed to cause us to separate. Like, I would want to hear more about Bambaataa being Bayesian. I never heard that before. I never heard that. You know what I'm saying? So I would want to hear more. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh man, just discount him and disqualify him, even though he got the tree jumping demonstration or the boy demonstration. I'm not tripping off of that. That's your thing. I'm trying to find the chronology of the history at this point. That is over there. Pause. Keep that over there.
Well, how can we really document? See, this is the problem that we have with hip hop, right? Hip hop had got a birth date.
Right. August the 11th.
Who authorized that birth date?
It's August the 11th, Doggie Diamonds.
Or who said this is hip hop's birthday?
I don't know, bro.
They're going off a party that Kool Herc had.
Right.
Who was at the party?
Right.
So if it was it a hip hop party or was it a regular house party?
But you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of when Europeans try to market something, they actually put a timestamp on everything so they can recognize it, commemorate it, and then next thing you know, they're selling products.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it seems like.
It's all a money grab, because at the end of the day, right, when we say hip hop, we think about rapping, DJing, because this one thing that this is supposed to be the 50th year of hip hop, right?
Right.
They omitted all the DJs and the producers and the dancers and everything. It was all about the rappers.
Yeah,
They
right about that.
Celebrate nobody. And when they celebrate the DJs, it's the same cast of characters. It's Herc, it's Flash. That's it.
Right.
And it was a lot of DJs. Where's Jazzy J at? It was a lot of DJs back then, but they don't get spoken about. It's just like these three guys created something. If I'm not, first of all, they're way older than me, right? So when the year that hip hop was so-called invented, I wasn't even born.
Right.
Right. So if they say we had a party and it's the day that hip hop was founded, was somebody in there rapping? Was somebody in there breakdancing? Was this graffiti taking place? That's what I'm saying. So how is it? How's that the birthday of hip hop?
I like what you say.
Like 4 or 5 elements.
I like what you're saying right there.
Music, that don't mean it was hip hop.
Absolutely. So listen. I don't mean to cut your wisdom, but sometimes I do it because I be trying to catch my thought before I lose it. But my apology for that. But Doggie Diamonds, listen. If we say and we accept, because I got it from KRS-One, the 5 elements of hip hop. Mm-hmm. It's dancing, breaking, graffiti, rapping, and DJing, right?
No, I think you messed up. I think
dancing. Breaking, b-boying.
The same thing. Yeah.
The same thing. So it's breaking, rap, MCing, graffiti, DJing, and there's one missing.
Sometimes they put knowledge in there. Sometimes they put.
But whatever the case may be, right? If we accept that, then again, I agree with you. That would have to all take place on August the 11th, 1973.
This is hip hop personified. They was in there tagging the walls. They was breakdancing. Somebody grabbed the mic and got on the mic and said, that's hip hop. So you can't say he played records and he cut up records and hip hop was founded this day. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't jacking that. I don't, me personally, and everybody's like, happy birthday, hip hop. I was just sitting in the corner like, man.
You know what I did enjoy? I did enjoy the rappers that I grew up with coming back and getting their shine again. Cause man, I like Kodak Black and all the other rappers, hey, now and then too. But boy, wasn't nothing like hearing Rakim. Wasn't nothing like hearing Rakim.
He never went anywhere though.
But I'm just saying they shut down at COVID, and then before COVID, these other acts was pushed, and we're gonna talk about that too. But on the 50th anniversary, they really seem to. I mean, it's after COVID too, so it would all appear that it's a comeback.
It was all a money grab, bro.
Yeah,
because they left out. I did a list of 50 MCs that they left out that you should know.
Who's on that list?
Chubb Rock.
Chub Rock, and I'll break your legs.
Special Ed.
Right.
Brother Jay from the X Clan. Like, you don't got the X Clan on there? You know what I'm saying? Poor Righteous Teachers. Right. There was people who added on to this culture that might not have gotten the fanfare, the push, but they were very, very instrumental in my upbringing.
What about Digging in the Crates? I didn't hear much about them.
I put DITC was number one. That's Lord Finesse, Big L.
Yeah, what about them? You didn't hear much about them during this 50th.
Yeah, so they had on there who they wanted to have on there. And again, one thing that we have to realize about hip hop, once it went corporate, that's when the control was lost from the artist, because now the bank has to figure out, if I want to invest in you, do I think you're going to sell? No, I don't believe in your dream, your vision, your look. I don't like the way you look. I don't like the way you sound. So I won't give you the money to start your career, right? It's the same thing if you say, hey, man, I want to start a water company. What kind of water? I don't like the taste of the water. I don't like the bottling. I don't like the location. No, I won't loan you the money. It's the same thing with a record deal. It's the same exact thing. So what happens is, once hip hop went corporate, you start seeing chicken commercials and Sprite and all types of stuff like that. Now they find out who they want to make. That's where the agendas come in. Well, what is your content about? The content ain't gonna really help us sell anything. It's not filling no morgues. It's not filling no jails. It ain't nobody hurting nobody from it. Nah, we positive. You understand what I'm saying? And again, fat joke and bust the lies. You know what I'm saying?
But you see that though, but I don't mean to cut your wisdom, but for Black World TV say Fat Joe and bust the lies, it really it could go 50-50 because Kool Herc is Jamaican American.
So that would mean if Jamaicans had nothing to do with the founding of hip hop, we would have to disqualify Kool Herc.
You got to.
And who can do that?
And who would do that? I'm talking about those that was there. Even Coke La Rock. You know, there's an argument that Kool Herc talked on the mic before Coke La Rock. You hear about that? Yeah. And I know without a doubt or contradiction that Tariq Nasheed is going to try to pick that scab because Coke La Rock had mentioned that. Huh?
Talking on the mic ain't rapping.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's a thing that has been going on. It's on the Devil European network. The Devil European network over there that be stealing the hip hop. He has an interview with Coke La Rock, and Coke La Rock sound really frustrated that Kool Herc was saying that he literally rapped on the mic by talking on the mic or something to that degree.
I mean, keep it real with you. Back then, DJs did speak on the mic.
Absolutely.
So before there was rapping per se, the MC was the master of ceremony. So the MC would say, this is what's going on tonight. Then it became the rap. Now, you have people who like to make this argument. Pig Meat Markham. Millie Jackson made a rap record called I Had to Say It. You know, They like to use Cab Calloway. They use different people, but that wasn't called rapping. The Last Poets, it wasn't called rapping, so you can't say, oh, they were rapping then. So if that's the case, in the old Shaw Brother karate movies, they was breakdancing because they was back spinning. They was doing look at them old karate movies. I'm like, oh, he just did a windmill. So we can't say that was that. It's only that once it's called that, right? It's only that when it's recognized as that. But what everybody has to attempt to do is disqualify Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, they already got him up out of here, and Grandmaster Flash. Once you disqualify them and put somebody else in their place that's willing to challenge the trilogy of hip-hop and is going to be accepted, then FBA brothers can stake their claim. Until then, this is what everybody is saying.
And it's been like that for a long time, bro.
Since the inception.
I'm listen, I'm from a place where the two popular musics, genre of music is go-go or club music. Go-go or club music. I've been a part of the hip-hop scene as it relates to as I was telling you on our conversation, you know, when they used to record from the radio and sell them out the tennis shoe store down here. Many people wasn't on that down there when I was on it. And I was young. I probably was like 11 or 12, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, this is crazy. I used to love it. But the whole thing in a nutshell is that why has this become such a big issue now?
I believe it's an issue because when I looked up what the FBA was, the argument was, if I'm not mistaken, one of the arguments was other people that are black but are from other countries come to this country, they blend in with us, but they quick to say what their differences are between us and them. And then all the work that we've done, all the foundations that we built, everything that we created, they might get credit because of their complexion, their skin. But they don't consider themselves to be a part of us unless they're getting credit, unless they're getting some money, unless they're getting the shine for certain things. Other than that, I'm not you.
Right.
Because I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of other countries, if you call them black, some of them don't accept that. You know why? Because they made black synonymous with African American. Right. So African American, as we see, has been replaced. Now Black American is in, right? So when I was younger and I seen the Jamaican, I'd be like, you black? He'd be like, no, I'm not. I'm Jamaican.
Right.
So they always made a differentiation. And I'm like, yeah, but you're black. You still black. No, because in their mind, black means African American.
And I think that's a legitimate claim, though. I think that's a legitimate claim because
that's where the problem kicking. Because if you're going to separate, so if the police come in here, they ain't going to say, "Yo, who's the Jamaican?"
Oh no, absolutely not.
They kicking all our ass.
But what happens, and I don't want to get into the conversation of black. When we all acknowledge and paint ourselves as a label like black, then you take people heritage from them. You know, when the Jamaican can teach his child that he's from Jamaica, it takes them to a point of origin. When we say black, that takes, like you say, they labeled everybody that, and now if we use that label on somebody else, you're stripping them of their point of origin. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that should separate us. I think it should be a bigger conversation that you stripping me of my point of origin. If you call a Puerto Rican black, you know what I'm saying? You're stripping them from their heritage of Puerto Rico or Cuba and all of that. But we know we have all the same.
Black.
Huh?
Fat Joe said he black.
But Fat Joe say a lot of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. But this is but
that's not the standard though.
No, but we got to understand. But see, my thing is to be impartial and understand both sides, right? So, what did the late great Paul Mooney said? Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga.
Right.
You can't be one of us when we cheering, but then when we get kicked in our ass, you would say, "Yo, I'm over here with it." And that sometimes is a legitimate argument when it comes to stuff, because historically they have done that. Sometimes they have separated themselves from us. So now we got this hip hop thing, right? Unfortunately, that's all black people think we got. We think hip hop is black culture. No, I'm just keeping it real with you.
No, bro, you unfiltered, bro.
Look, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Look, I got on a hat that say hip hop is my nationality because that's what most of us think.
Right.
We eat, breathe, sleep hip hop. Throughout my whole timeline, hip hop. Everything. Everybody's talking about hip hop throughout my whole timeline, right? So what's happening is that when the spoils of the labor of hip hop is time to get passed out, sometimes we start saying, hold on, who created this? How come they get this? How come this one gets? How come this they get this? And then there's the argument. That's where the argument starts. And then you start looking at the point of origin, and then you have people who, when it's convenient, you ever see, respectfully, shout out to all my Jamaicans, but you ever see they'll be around us talking like this, and then when they get around one of the Jamaicans, they put the accent on, like, I used to know that shit off and on.
But you know what? Mexicans do it. A lot of foreigners do it.
So,
a lot of them do it. Yeah.
But we don't like that. We don't like that. If I'm around you and we kicking it, then another Spanish speaking person come around, you want to speak Spanish to them? I'm like, yo, y'all talking about me. That's how
Right,
we always.
right.
So again, talk. I understand how sometimes we feel slighted and we feel separated from them. So now this hip hop things comes, right? And we seeing people getting all these deals. Well, none of them got their deals from hip hop. All of them made their money off of liquor and destructive shit. Besides Kanye, even sneakers is some nigga shit to me. But that's a whole nother story, right? So when this money starts coming in, and then when they putting hip hop on the top of the chalkboard, they'll say Eminem is the greatest hip hop. They never say it's none of us. Right. So then we start saying, hold on, everybody eating and lived off of what we created. And then that's when you got the Busters. That's when you got the Fat Joes to say, nah, we was in that too. Because Buster conveniently is Jamaican when he wants to be Jamaican. Fat Joe is Puerto Rican and say he black. So this is the confusion that these two individuals had, but because they get the megaphone and they get to speak the loudest so much, that is the confusion. So now we're in who created hip hop? Well, like I said, the Trinity created hip hop. So the object of the game for some is that has to be dispelled, because now we will have to rewrite the history books of who created hip hop. And Tahaka, you know what's real? Nobody's going to accept that regardless.
Absolutely. And so at the end of the day, for one to say that Tethers are trying to steal our shine and saying they created hip hop, and I'm talking about this FBA conversation. And let's be clear, this is a microcosmic group of people on the internet. They're not really, it's an internet thing. It's not
getting big though.
I mean, not really. It's internet big. Internet trends come and go. Internet big. You know,
we always gotta acknowledge everything in this time starts on the internet, and you have a lot of people who feel like that, who are not on the internet, who won't say it, right? Just like it's a lot of black Republicans.
Of course.
They won't say it on the internet, but when they go in that booth, they're like,
but the thing about the FBA thing, and I've been covering it long enough, and you can go in anywhere in any city, any streets. Most people be like, "Huh, what's that?" The point that I'm making is, like, I think people got me twisted, because I do think the concept of FBA is not a bad concept. The person who's propagating it and pushing it is pushing it for a grift and for a cash out. That's the problem with FBA. It's not the concept. The concept is, okay, we are distinct and separate people, and we deserve what's ours. There's nothing wrong with that. But when one has monetized it, created it, defined it, monetized it, and then sells it on every different every bit of difference that we have, and every fight, every gripe, then that becomes a problem. I think that's the issue.
But see, you got to remember, in just culture period, that's going to happen.
Of course.
Like we've been taken from all our religions, right? Like once we learned a little bit more, we say stupid shit like I'm spiritual. And I'd be like, yo, it's evil spirits too, right? Like spirits, all spirits ain't good spirits. You have evil spirits. And the one thing that I don't like about religion, but religion comes with discipline and also indoctrination, right? You get indoctrinated. But the man standing up in front of the pulpit could be the worst motherfucker in this whole place, because he knows that he controls the minds through the word of a book. So anytime you have a creator or something, only thing people must not do is worship the creator and respect the creation. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Take the concept, take the belief in the concept, but that has nothing to do with the person, because if it just so happens, God forbid, if something happens to this person, you still have to believe in the concept. Does it die with them, or do you carry it on? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like how 1975, when Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed away, you see what Wallace did. He was like, yo, man, I ain't jacking none of that. And he disbanded it.
Right.
So it almost died with his father. You understand what I'm saying? So where's the believers? Now, you could give me something, but what am I going to do with it now?
But let me say this, when we're talking about hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're trying to claim that, and I say native New Yorkers to indicate, because I know the FBA thing is a grift. I know it. The creator, he got everything trademarked. He got everything. he didn't trade a lineage. I ain't never seen that before. But nevertheless,
let me ask you something though. If he didn't do that, wouldn't the white man have to do it to him? You don't think so? I don't think it's marketable. Actually, I don't think it's marketable.
I'm just saying, regardless, anything that possibly.
Anything
Let me
that
tell you something.
Bro,
let me tell you something.
They'll steal it.
Yeah, but let me say this. I don't think it's marketable. However, people steal anything, bro. That doesn't make nothing.
Protect your creations, though.
Yeah,
that's your intellectual property. You understand what I'm saying?
That.
So I'm not really totally against that. All I'm saying to the people is that take the information, run with the information, learn the information, and apply the information. Without application, nothing means nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's where people fall short. The application, talking and shit doesn't mean anything. Okay, we got this information. Now, how do we apply this? So if we're saying Tethers,
that's what I'm trying to. That's what I wanted to get to. That's what I wanted to get to.
Tethers started hip hop, right? If that's what is the belief is, and that is across the board, how do we disqualify them?
That's the point where I'm trying to get to. The point that I'm trying to get to, we can talk about trademarking Indian, we can trademark black, we can trademark FBA. We talk about that all day long. But the point that I'm making is that the argument is so divisive. It's so divisive because we haven't reached a conclusion. We haven't reached a conclusion yet. What is the conclusion? Because Kool Herc is definitely Jamaican American.
Facts.
Definitely, without a doubt or contradiction. And he is listed as the founder of hip hop, or one of the founders of hip hop.
Now let me ask you something, and we can ask the audience: did he ever say he was the founder of hip hop?
I don't know. I
don't think he ever said that.
I don't know.
This is the problem. I don't think he ever said that. Of course, he's gonna stick his chest out and run with it, but I don't think he ever said he's the founder of hip hop, because you have people who could dispute that. So I guess this is what Coke LaRock is to do. But so that means where's y'all?
But Coke LaRock was with him though. They were together.
That's what I'm saying.
According to Coke LaRock.
Yeah, he was. No, he was. That was his MC. Coke LaRock was his MC. Coke LaRock was his MC. So
now you're gonna have to dispute him and Coke LaRock.
Well, Coke LaRock has to disqualify Herc as the founder, right? Okay. And he has to say, I guess he's saying, because Coke LaRock argument will have to be, he's not the founder. What is he saying? He's the founder?
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying about the divisiveness about a narrative and about this FBA thing. Everything is agenda based, and so Kool Herc don't get to speak, but Coke LaRock get to speak. And we already know from Coke LaRock interviews, he already shows a little bit disgruntledness about, but he never disqualifies Kool Herc. I can say that. So I've never heard in any interview him disqualify Kool Herc.
So does Coke LaRock say Herc is the founder?
They were together. That's the last word I heard. They together.
Why is Coke LaRock omitted from the history of hip hop?
I know. I never really knew nothing about Coke LaRock until probably about 5 years ago.
I mean, because you got to admit, again, I was not born. They had a show on Netflix called what was the Netflix show about Kool Herc, Bam? Somebody in the chat probably know, but they had a Netflix show about them. I forgot what it was. So they've always been pushed as but let me tell you something. Let me just keep it real with you. All this shit is a big money grab.
Yeah, that's
And you
where
know
I'm
who get
at with
paid
it,
off
bro.
of it? You know who get paid off it? And the white man get paid off all of that.
Yeah,
That's really the beneficiary of everything.
I agree, bro.
It's
I
really,
agree.
it's really the beneficiary of everything
I
because
call it a grift, bro.
we don't own hip hop. Yes, we are creators of it. But if you make the burger, that don't mean you own the restaurant.
Good. Man, you got the sound. You got to make the bread.
Yeah. Just because you made the burger, that don't mean you own the restaurant. And once the restaurant duplicates your burger, duplicates your recipe, and they are the seller of the burger, where you gonna sell the burger at? So even when we do hip hop, even when we do this, we still have to go to them for permission to do it.
Yeah.
The people say, I'm independent. No, you're not. No, you're not. Unless you're selling it out of your trunk, played out, unless you're selling MP3s directly to people, you are not independent. Because the minute you put it on a streaming platform, they're gonna get their cut. You think the record labels ain't down with the streaming platforms? You really, that's what y'all really think? So what do you really know about hip-hop? So what I came up with, I don't care who created it. I just don't want it in the hands of the white people. I don't want to have to beg them or ask them, can I put it out? Can I do it? Because if I get on here right now and say something derogatory, they could shut me down. They could shut down your records. They could pull you up. They could do all of that. And they do that. Look what they did to Kanye. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if we not the makers, the owners.
Let me ask you, how important is it who created it, who made it, whether we made it separately, together, or one side, Caribbean made it, the native New Yorker and the Bronx made it. How important is that?
For historical references, it's important. Overall, it ain't important. Like I just said, we don't own it. They control every aspect of hip hop. So us arguing who made it is, that's just like saying, yo, my brother could beat your big brother. All it really is bragging rights, because will we get the spoils of our creation?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we can say most black people believe the trilogy made it, and so do white people. So you think Kool Herc is living in the subway somewhere? He's the founder of hip hop. Everybody feels like they owe him. So Coke La Rock is probably saying, hold on, I ain't living too good. I ain't doing well, and I'm a part of this. Where's mine at? You ain't found it. And Herc has to say, yo, nah, he was with me. But so it is important, because one thing that has been stolen from black people is all our inventions.
Right.
All our inventions been stolen. Everything been stolen. You know what I'm saying? Shit, people will say Vlad was one of the first ones doing interviews when it was me. And I'm black as a motherfucker. I'm just a little light, but my mother and father is black. You understand what I'm saying? So again, the argument is that everything that we create has been stolen from us. So what did we create? And the issue is, other people like to say we don't have no culture. In our mind, hip hop is our culture, right? So if a Jamaican, if a Puerto Rican, a Dominican say y'all don't have no culture, and we believe hip hop is our culture, they're taking that from us now. So we really don't have no culture. That is the problem.
But would it be fair to say that if the history says that and it can be qualified, quantified, and verified, that history says that, okay, Kool Herc is the principled founding father of hip hop, that, okay, that's what it is, let's keep it pushing? Couldn't it be that simple? It seemed like this fight about, it seemed like a setup, honestly, of sorts. It seemed like a setup.
Honestly, I never gave it to Kool Herc.
Yeah, it seemed like a setup of sorts.
To Bam. I never gave it to Flag.
Who do you give it to?
I give it to the people, man.
Oh, so you're saying that the people
As a
were
kid,
together.
I didn't know. As a kid, I didn't know them. I was banging on the table. They would this started in 19. I wasn't born.
You know what you said to me though? You know what you said to
Uh-huh.
me? You said, Tariq, look, if a party is going on, and you said it today too, but if a party is going on and hip hop have all the elements, you know, who was there to say that the graffiti, that the breaking, and that the MCing, that all of this was simultaneously happen? Is there anybody that ever said that this actually happened in that fashion, in that order?
No, nobody. So how could we get? This is what I'm saying. If we give it to 3 DJs, because that's what they are. These are 3 DJs. That's not hip hop. That's DJing.
Right.
That's DJing. Who was the MC? Who was the frontline breaker? And who was the graffiti crew?
Yeah, because if it's just the MC, then that's just MCing.
That's just MCing. That's not hip hop.
That's a strong argument right there.
Of hip hop. So if hip hop has 4 to 5 pillars, we can't put up. Now you are a carpenter by trade, right? You already know if you put a beam in a wall and you got to put drywall on it, you need another 2-3 beams to make a wall.
Right. Absolutely.
You can't put one beam and say, yeah, I'm putting this wall up. Somebody gonna say it ain't gonna be no wall without the other beams.
Right.
So you didn't put a wall up. So if these men are just DJs, how is that hip hop if all the elements doesn't complete it?
I believe that a lot of this stuff becomes distraction. Every so often, it's these internet distractions, and I'm like this is a rabbit hole. This is a rabbit hole now. You know, it's a rabbit hole. It's like it's a bunch of confusion, a bunch of redirection, distractions, and internet conversation. A lot of what we hear today is just internet conversation that has no value on the real turf, on the real ground.
Let me ask you something. If it is founded, and if it's unanimously that Black Americans created hip hop, these 3 men get disqualified. Black Americans created hip hop. What is the reward?
Nothing.
Do I get a sticker on my forehead at the end on Friday? What is the
you get a little child star sticker.
That's what I'm saying. So opposed to bragging rights
and selling propaganda too now. Somebody is selling propaganda in order to cash in.
Can that knowledge, can that founding, can that take it from the people who stole it from us? Because the Jamaicans ain't steal it from us. The Puerto Ricans ain't steal it from us. The person who stole everything from everybody stole it from us. You get what I'm saying? Right. So when could we take it back from them? When could we have the capacity that we don't need to go to them because they got a greater agenda? Correct. They got a greater agenda. You understand what I'm saying? So, all right, if all of this argument and everything disqualifies these 3 men, now what?
It's nothing. It's a nothing burger, bro.
That's the answer that people have to push for.
And I appreciate you saying that, bro, because one thing that I try to underscore here on Moorish World TV, that some kind of way we got the same boot on our neck here in America as the Jamaican brother got on his neck, as the Caribbean brother got on his neck in Trinidad or sister, wherever, you know, and we have ignorance all over the place. You know, Jamaican may look at somebody that's not of Jamaican descent or born in Jamaica and say, oh, the black people are stupid. And then an African may say black people are stupid. And then we may say that the Africans are this and African that. So we always going to have that too. But the highly intelligent person only move with like-minded people. And
I'm gonna be real with you. Don't call me no fucking Yankee. I don't like that shit.
Who say that? Jamaicans?
Yeah, I don't like.
Yankee boy. That's it.
I will punch you right in your mouth. Don't call me no
Hey, bro,
Yankee.
I ain't heard that in a long time. They still use that.
Yeah, I just don't like that shit. Don't call me nothing but my name. You understand what I'm saying? Because at one point we were all called African booty scratchers.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
that's remember,
exactly.
The African got stripped out of Black Americans.
Right.
The African got stripped out of. So now to some people, we have no ties to Africa. So I'm only a little confused because we are descendants of slaves, where the slaves came from.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, man. A lot of these are nothing burger sandwiches, nothing burger Big Macs.
You don't mess with ADOS either.
Huh?
You don't mess with ADOS either?
Listen, I don't have no problem with the philosophy because I get it, but I don't subscribe to any of these things. I believe that we are ancient people way before the boat came. And I believe that we're a little bit of everything. I believe that we should subscribe to what we can identify with, what we can qualify for ourselves, and then from that we form Voltron.
Okay, so the Voltron thing is never going to happen.
I agree. That like-minded people will. Like-minded people will. You know what I mean? Even the ignorant like-minded come together.
It's never going to happen because everybody be having their own agendas.
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that everybody 100%. I said like-minded people. That means that when people think on the same vibration, on the same level, they will operate and function together. That don't mean they will identify the same. That don't mean they will.
All right. Now, realistically, how many people did you start out with the same like mind and they went somewhere else when they seen listen, pussy, money, and opportunity will change any nigga.
I disagree. I think
pussy, money, and opportunity be changing dudes.
I get that. But guess what? Most thorough changes of the world, circles are small anyway. Some of the greatest changes of the world are small circles.
You gotta be a loner. You gotta be like 3-4 y'all. And
but that's what changes the world, bro. It's the little nucleus that actually could affect change on a massive level.
But I think our problem is that when we keep thinking about the diaspora of Black people, that is the problem, right?
I don't believe we all gonna come together with like-mindeds like that, though.
Oh, they don't get along in their own country.
I don't agree with that, though. I don't agree that each and every one of us is going to come together with like-minded like that from some big conglomerate. I don't agree with that.
But that's what people think. But see,
I don't agree with that.
Understand. This is what you got to understand. Nobody knows what they're gonna say or do until they are battle tested.
Right.
Everybody say what they not going to do until you got to do it or you forced to do it. You understand what I'm saying? If you have not been battle tested, I don't listen to people. People say, I ain't telling on nobody. Okay. Are you prepared to not eat for 72 hours, not piss for 72 hours, not go to the bathroom? Them telling you they going to lock your mother up, your kids up. Are you mentally prepared for that? Because look what y'all do on the internet all day. You act like idiots and asses. So if you're in a situation where you're being mentally tortured, look how weak you are. Look at the comments you leave. That's
absolutely.
So I ain't snitching up. You're going to be the first one to tell. The minute you can't get your weed or you can't get no liquor. I don't want to get off of
I got you.
But, go ahead.
Only thing I'm saying is I think when I make the like-minded statement, that I don't want anybody to think that I'm implying that any and everybody is going to fall into that perspective like-minded. No. These are people that are evolved. These are people that has unfolded, and these are people that know where they're going and they know how they want to get there, and they know that no man is an island to themselves, and we're going to make it happen. And they just find each other. You know, likeness finds each other to some degree. You know what I mean? And you move forward.
Common ground. So this is what I've been doing, Talker, because I did a show based on Black Americans and non-Black Americans having conflict. So this is what I wanted to know. Okay, because I found out that more people that I knew that I was friends with on the internet had FBA ideologies. I never knew that.
Right.
I never knew that. So all I'm trying to get and I'm trying to extract from people is now what? See, originally in its inception, I thought the FBA movement and the ADOS movement was about reparations. Okay. Yeah. So I thought it was, we're going to get reparations, but don't try to come get some of our money, because that's what I thought. That's what I thought, right?
But that was one of the arguments, though.
So that's what I initially thought. So I was for that. I'm like, yeah, don't be coming over here talking about, yeah, I'm Cuban and I need some of that Black people money. No, fam, you better go back to Cuba. You know what I'm saying? My family got decades in this. So I understood that. But then when I'm not saying the reparations thing is dead, but when it started targeting hip hop and this and that, I was like, so what's now what? Like, what is the
agenda?
You understand what I'm saying? So that's what you know, me personally, I would like to interview Tariq Nasheed and have him explain some of the things to me, because it's questions that people have that, and I don't think he should go live and just answer questions. He should be able to have somebody that can ask him the question, because a lot of times we go live and we just spew off the dome. But nah, you got to speak to somebody that's going to ask you questions and be able to not counter your answers, but give different perspectives and have you be able to answer. Because only thing I'm asking everybody is, I'm a Black American. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm for Black people around the world. I understand the FBA plight. I understand the ADOS plight. I understand both of them. But if we are to declare victories on hip hop, if we win hip hop, we did it. We discovered it. It wasn't them. Now what?
This and I think this is the reason why I wanted to have this conversation, because all of the conversations that come out the shoebox of FBA, because it's a small little shoebox of agenda. You got the reparations, they hit that real quick. That's over. You know what I'm saying? And they touch on it here and there. You had the Hidden History Museum, supposed to be for FBAs, by FBAs, for FBAs, and clearly it's not a typical, and that's relative, a typical museum. It's literally a place where people lounge and comedy shows, and it's just consistent comedy shows and performances and da-da-da. Okay, forget it. No harm, no foul. And then it went from that to now the documentary thing about hip hop, and it's looking into something that even I think we come to conclusion here that it haven't really been concluded from those who were there, but it's been pushed that the three pillars are it. And you said yourself that one of the pillars say, hey, we didn't even hear him say that.
Yeah,
and
I never
so
heard of it.
and so now it seems like another money grab, and it's the same thing that the European does with our culture. They
So a
find
documentary is being made.
Oh yeah, and all the disgruntled.
Who's funding the documentary?
Tariq Nasheed.
He's funding it himself.
No, he just recently said he's going to do a crowdfunding. He's going to do a crowdfunding to get it done. But he started it. He had Sha LaRock. He got Coke LaRock. He got all those.
Time out. He's going to do a crowdfunding for a documentary.
He just said it yesterday. Somebody sent me a clip on it. I don't watch him. Yeah.
All right. So my question would be to him, and he can answer the question. You know, and this is with all due respect. Why do you crowdfund for stuff? So you don't make profit from nothing you put out there?
20 over 20 projects, bro, was done with crowdfunding, bro.
Okay, I get that. So at what point do you take your money and because everybody look now I'm gonna talk in some real low level vibrating Black man shit that some of us come from. If I got work and you gave me work on consignment, I don't sell the work and keep the profit and come to you for new work.
Come on, bro.
I gotta flip it.
This 20 projects, bro. Millions of dollars, bro. Now the whole thing is this. The whole thing is this, though. It could be a worthy cause to try to uncover that. But the way that his documentaries are done, they're one-sided. Again, Kool Herc don't get to speak. He already said Kool Herc can't be in it because he's a tether.
Mm-hmm.
Coke LaRock is in it because I'm suspecting that him and Kool Herc had the little disagreement about who was on the mic.
Maybe they didn't even have a disagreement. Kool Herc might not even know he got a problem with him.
There you go. I'm glad you corrected me. Exactly, because you know that's how that worked too. Coke LaRock could say something, and now it's done on the Russian Boy network, and now Tariq see that and say, yeah, that's one, and they just picking the scabs. And again, I love what you just said. Like once it's decided, then what?
Yeah, that's see. When we don't create new problems for solutions. We create solutions for new problems. So once we solve something, we don't create another problem.
Right.
If the problem arises, we have a solution for every problem. But it seemed like with us, as soon as we don't go trying to solve a problem, we create new problems, but we didn't solve the last problem. So if the agenda, let's say the agenda is reparations, let's attack that full on.
But it's all a hustle. This is what my series has been about. My series has been about from the time of him coming on the scene. It has always been from the selling of the fake pimp books. He never was a pimp. The selling of the Mac books. He never was a Mac. He never was a Mac. He never was a Mac. He got on the interview and said it's satire when they called him on it. He never was a Mac. And then from that, he called the brothers on 125th when they was chopping it up. He called them dusty hoteppers, and he would all these dusty hoteppers, on and on and on and on. And then the next thing you know, the same people that he was calling dusty hoteppers, they skinning and grinning, smiling and beguiling to be in front of his camera. And he sit them on there, probably give them about $1,000 a piece. And then he already got over 60,000 in crowdfunding, sold the DVD, and then makes another one. And now he moved from that to FBA. So it's one thing to another, to another, to another. So this is what I try to inform the people here on Morris World TV. If you start seeing the hustles change, brother, ever since I've discovered you, putting out content, this is what you do.
Yeah, the mission is the mission.
This is what you do.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You are in communications, brother. That's it. Now, other stuff that you might do that I don't know about, maybe I'm not supposed to know about it because this is what you do.
Well, I do this too, you know.
Yeah, but see, now I know. But guess what I know you for?
All the music I hear on here, I score it. But again,
from the Forbes DVD era, you know, and we talked about one of my favorite interviews, Ali Vegas, and what's my brother from Max B. We talked about that privately. Like some of my favorite interviews that I've ever seen come from you. This is what you do, bro. I don't see you marketing trips to the Marcus Garvey Museum in Europe.
I took the kids though. I did have a youth group.
The Marcus Garvey Museum.
No, look, I did have
a joke.
I did have a youth group prior to COVID, and we used to take the kids on trips. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you something. So, and I'm not for or against his movements, right?
Right.
So let me ask you something.
Ask me the hard question.
Do you know what P.T. Barnum said?
The world is a stage.
Sucker is born every day.
Sucker is born every day. There we go.
Now, I question myself with this. I wrestle with this. I wrestle with this every day because sometimes I want to say, yo, you wrong for doing that. But goddamn, if you see the building is burning, what the hell make you run in the building too and get burnt up and come out and say, oh, it burnt me too? What do you think was going to happen? So if people are dealing with people and there is no result in your dealings with them, but you continue to deal, are we mad at the dealers or are we mad at the people? The people got to wake up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I won't see. So me, we could say his name. One person I don't fuck with. I don't like. Let's say Brother Polite wrote 90 books. We don't know one book, right? We don't know one fucking book.
Right.
He speak 80 languages, whatever, right? He's done things to people that people have accused him of. And then it seemed like people go to him and get done dirty like the last person to trauma bond. This trauma bonding shit with black people is the problem, bro.
Absolutely. And
I'm not trying to be in a situation to where, yo, if I seen you get your ass whooped, I ain't messing with him. It's blocks I used to get shot at on. I don't go down that block to say, oh, they shot at me. They shot at me yesterday.
You want a gangster stripe.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, this is what go. Yeah, I went over there. No, see, one thing that we have to learn to do, I don't care where you from. Stop this trauma bonding shit. Because you can't complain if you've been warned. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. You have been warned, right? So if your agenda and what you've been doing is breaking down the series, then people got to use discernment, right, in some of the things that you're saying. But if you like his program, fuck with his program. If his program doesn't benefit you in the long run, don't come to Tahaka saying you right. That should just be it.
And let me respond to this comment. Somebody say Tahaka judgment is clouded because his feud was Tariq. His ego is bruised. Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. And I said this again. I said this before and I said it again. And I think this is a great time for me to say it. Tariq has a 30-year grift. He actually was a rapper.
The fuck is a grift? I don't know what a grift is.
Pretending as if he's giving people something in the name, and this is just my definition, pretending that he's providing something to people of value when in fact he's literally using that to bring money and to bring wealth into himself. He's just grifting them, playing them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So scamming them. So with that being said, Tariq was a rapper himself.
Mm-hmm.
Tariq not only was a rapper himself under the name Cosmo Flex. Who was Tariq before he was Tariq Nasheed? Now, if we're going to talk about history, see, I think he them peoples. In fact, I got experience enough to know he's them peoples. I believe that he's sent to misinform, misdirect, and et cetera, et cetera.
So that means everything he been doing is fake, even when they swatted stuff?
Absolutely. 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 And I've covered it. The point that I'm making is this. If someone can tell me, this guy here, Fred Red Dragon, who is Tariq Nasheed before he was Tariq Nasheed? His mama didn't name him Tariq Nasheed. When we're going to talk about history, first, let's deal with the history of the person that's producing it. And when one says that doesn't matter, and every time somebody asks him who he is, and he gets bent out of shape, and he gets a little bit crazy, and don't want to answer the question, what is he hiding? What is he hiding? Because I can tell you now, I was born Toronto Antonio Johnson. You can look me up anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard. It's not hard. So the point I'm making is these series that I do is not necessarily for the ones who already fell for the okie doke. It's for the ones that can catch a glimpse of him. And then when they go, the new people coming in, they catch a glimpse of it. And next thing you know, they Googling, looking for some more. And then they see my video and say, what's this about?
Mm-hmm.
And I got enough content out there right now that when I decide to put a period to it, there's enough content, the job is done. Many other people who tried to tell people who Tariq really was, it had a little run and it fell on deaf ears because the internet would swallow it up. I put over 11 months of content out and I did it. I got a job. You know what I'm saying? I'm a carpenter. I got a job. So I can sacrifice my channel to make sure I put this information out that those who want to follow the nonsense and buy into the nonsense, that's fine. But the new people that could be the next Marcus Garvey, that could be the next Jesus, that could be whatever you believe in of strength and leadership, that could be the next, and don't fall for this grift. They got the information.
So how come you and him never had dialogue?
Brother, he called me a sex offender because I questioned the legitimacy of FBA. He called me a registered sex offender.
Where did he get that information from?
You have to ask him that.
No, I'm just saying. So because
so this is how it starts. I'm like, because I identify as a Moorish American, right? Mm-hmm. I identify as a Moorish American. So when I hear a new concept like ADOS or FBA or Hebrew or whatever, an identity concept, I'm like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So I did a video like, help us understand what is FBA. That was the title. And he was on the cover. He was on the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, he went bonkers. He just went nuts.
So did you do this with ADOS as well?
No, actually, because I understand what ADOS was.
So how but isn't his a derivative of what they was doing?
He was with ADOS.
Okay.
Yeah, he was with ADOS. I think we got a clear understanding what ADOS is. That's where the confusion lies. Like, if you was a part of ADOS, why would you break off and be FBA and ADOS just under a different acronym?
Well, you could answer that yourself too. The same
You know
way,
what I'm
the same way you said the Nation of Islam was with the Moorish Zion.
Absolutely. No, but what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is, what's the agenda? So it's an agenda. There you go. You just answered it for me too.
Yeah,
There's an agenda. And then there's been an agenda for a long time.
But that's what I was saying was, okay, if we could disqualify all these things,
right,
and qualify that the Black Americans are the makers, the owners.
This is the best thing you be saying here.
Yeah, the Black Americans are the makers, the owners, the cream of the
planet Earth, father civilization,
God of the universe, right? Now, what do we get rewarded? What are we entitled to?
There is none. There is no reward.
All right,
you said it. We don't own nothing.
Okay, so is it an ownership that's being done for? You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to see, and that's what would have to be explained to me. Okay, say we did. Like I don't want to mention the Hebrew brother before, but it was a time my cousin asked him, okay, say we all Hebrew, say we all come into the truth and we all Hebrew. Now what? And he said, we're going to wait for Yahweh Shah to come back and get us. Fam, I'm not doing that because I still got to
and that's the thing. I don't agree with all of that stuff. The thing is that the internet has become the new preacher's pulpit. You understand? It become the new hustle.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
But it was out the gate, though. This is what I'm saying.
But brother, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
If you one who is the hood journalist,
I'm considered to be one of the.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
The founders of hip hop.
This is what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
You first considered the hood journalist.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know about you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You elevated, and now people like, that's Doggie Diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
And now they say, okay, this is one of the originators to take journalism as it relates to hip hop to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve everything that come with it. But now, brother, let me tell you, if you're a professional, but if you're going from selling beads next week and crystals, and then the next thing you know, you're selling get rich books, and then the next, bro, I'm gonna call you out, Doug. I'm like, Doug, what you doing?
But yo, like, you know what Willow? Yo, all these niggas be doing that though.
Absolutely. And you guess what you know what you told me the last time you was here?
These niggas is vendors, man.
There you go. There you go.
Like, because everybody got something to sell and they sell their popularity.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's something wrong with an agenda.
Let me tell you what's wrong.
A low vibration agenda.
I'm gonna make it plain. It's something wrong with me telling you, Tahaka, you need this to get rid of the acne on your face.
Come on, man. That's my point.
And you ain't got no acne.
That's my point, bro.
That's my issue with anybody. So nobody's gonna tell me what I need, and there's no benefit from it, because what you want me to have and what I need is two different things.
Like, let me give you an example.
Let
me give you an example. To your point. For reparations to happen, it gotta happen politically and lawfully. Would you agree?
Yes. It has to go before
these people.
House.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Tariq Nasheed does everything under a 501c3. Melanoid Nation. Claim to be spearheading reparations, not anymore. Claim to be spearheading the reparations movement, which he's not. How can that be? How can that be? You cannot spearhead the reparations movement in the true sense, because 501c3s cannot lobby. 501c3s cannot affect a political change, because they will lose the 501c3 status. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at it like that with a critical eye, and then most of the people that buy into this, they're not in his community.
He live in a gated community somewhere on the hills, hiding somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to tell the people here on Morse World TV is that it's all a hustle. It's all a grift. And if we want to take it like to the low vibration, to the street, man, can't knock the hustle. All right. Take it. Take it. If that's what you want to do.
You know, I'm one thing about me. One thing, shout out to Umar. Me and him had a few at one point.
I got a show coming up on Umar.
No, we had a feud at one point because I questioned some stuff, right? And you know, one thing about our people, instead of us just answering the question, we get sensitive,
right?
And to be legitimate questions sometimes. And I'm not coming from I've never come from a place of maliciousness. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't look at none of these dudes as street dudes,
right?
So I don't have to be in that vibration with you, you know. So I had a legitimate question, and he took it the wrong way, and he chose to insult me. And what happened was, I felt like I couldn't be critical of his school. I can't. I don't feel like I'm qualified to be critical of his school. You know why? Because I ain't donate what I lost.
Right. But as a reporter, as a journalist, I think you do have, to some degree, a voice on the topic. As a journalist,
I don't got nothing to say.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
Reason why I don't have nothing to say, right? And whatever people choose to report, that's on you. I will never tell nobody what they could talk about, right?
Right.
But one thing I'm not gonna do, if it was 900, and I'm not saying in Umar, I'm just saying in any case, if it was 900 dumb people, guess what I won't be? 901.
But what I'm saying is,
if
as a journalist,
hasn't been proven,
bro. But as a journalist, though, you are at liberty to report on whatever you want to. You're a journalist,
right.
You're a journalist. You're just not turning on. You're not, brother. Let me tell you something. You're just not putting on your phone and sitting in a little room and you can see the closet door opening. Brother, you have invested thousands and thousands of dollars and gave back thousands in journalism, bro. So you have the right.
I got my 10,000 hours. I got my 10,000 hours.
If you want to, you have the right to speak on whatever you want, bro. You earned that right. That's all I'm saying.
But again, I realize the sensitivity of men, and I realize the people who don't understand, and again, they're not following the movement, they're worshiping men. So when a man feels attacked, he turns around and attacks you.
That's what happened to
me. With some snapping shit, right? So now the people want to come with the trolling, snapping shit. And I'm built for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good at this shit. Like, I'm a Brooklyn. That's all we do is rank and snap. That shit ain't about nothing. But that turns into juvenile kitty shit that I ain't really with. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I have the right to be asked anything that people want to ask me, and I'm going to answer it via a statement, or I'm going to answer it to people in private. But if you're not a contributor to my program, how can you ask me anything? You don't want to succeed. You don't want to see me succeed or fail. You just think you got the right to question it. Because everybody has a voice, that don't mean you qualified to speak, right?
Right.
So that's why when it comes to, if they say, yo, Polite did this to me, I'm like, come on, man. You gave him your bread. How much testimonies did you need? You understand what I'm saying?
But when
it comes to FBA, and I'm not going to exclude adults, I don't want to see people doing YouTubes talking. Y'all have movements where you said this is what your movement is about. It ain't a movement, it ain't moving. This ain't no talking shit.
Right.
Because y'all actually supposed to have boots on the ground. We got this set up here. We got this here. Like if we want to take the Panthers, they set up chapters all around the United States. They was feeding the babies. They was feeding the children. They might be the founders of WIC. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That is a movement when you can see tangible results from the movement. That ain't no fucking YouTube videos.
Absolutely.
That ain't no tweets. That ain't no Instagrams. That is not a movement. That's just somebody putting out either good or bad propaganda. That's all that.
And that's what I'm saying about when you get to the core of we get back to the hip hop thing. But when you get to the core of FBA, it's nothing but propaganda. There is no movement.
Well, let's see what he do. How long does he have though?
Bro,
why?
no, this has been around quite some time now. It's been around since at least 2018. It's been around.
That long, no, that ain't that.
No, it's not that long, but we'll see. We'll see. But
I'm willing to. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm willing. Doggie Diamonds is willing to see where we going with this.
Nowhere. It can't. It doesn't. It doesn't have the elements. It doesn't have the elements, brother. It doesn't. Like, so when you structure a business, right, you know the elements that you need to make the business successful.
Facts.
When you look at a movement of a social movement, you know what elements it takes for it to be successful. It doesn't have the elements. There is nobody on the ground.
So is it a movement or an ideology?
It's an internet ideology. That's it. There is.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I was surprised how many people.
Oh, you been out say nothing wrong. You be surprised how many people gonna attack you.
Listen, I'm not worried about that because my middle finger long.
You better not say nothing wrong.
And I'm not worried about saying anything wrong because again, if somebody doesn't understand something, you don't attack them. You give them clarity and bring them into your understanding. And then they can form their own understanding from it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing is, being on the internet, and we're content builders, content
been
creators.
Here for a long time too.
Absolutely, we're content creators. Yeah. So when I see people, if I question your ideology and you attack me, I got to research and ask why. Fact. Because normally you got something to hide and you don't want to talk about because you're going to open the door and then you might be exposing yourself. Like you say, you could take an interview with Tariq Nasheed. You probably wouldn't get that because you are too raw in asking questions. You're going to ask questions that unless you know the safe, if you're going to stay in the safe zone, then maybe so.
But I've ever done that.
There you go. There you go. So the odds is you can forget about that. But I think
you would give me an interview because you gave one to Vlad. You gave one to the Tether academics. I'm a Black American for real.
That's a different circle.
But those are two Tethers though.
But that's a different circle.
But see, because my thing is.
I think you missed the point. I think you missed the point when I say that he was sent, that he's not who he say he is. Brother, all of these circles are connected to the other circle. Come on.
I know about one. I don't know about two.
I'm going to tell you that all of these circles are connected to the other circle.
I know
about And if you're not in that circle, you can forget about it. No Jumper, Vlad, all of these circles, bro.
Well, they got the complexion for the connection, so they good.
And this is what I'm trying to say. So all of this is agenda based. All of this is agenda based. All of these little podcasts, they're little groups of little power structures.
I mean, I know that.
Yeah, and so the whole thing is, let's get back to hip hop real quick before we get out of here. Yeah. So brother, at the end of the day, do you think that the founding, why don't you get an interview with Kool Herc?
I'm gonna be real with you. I never wanted to.
But as a journalist,
you know as crazy as that is, I never wanted to talk to. I don't even know what Kool Herc do.
But what I'm saying, what you mean?
Fuck he do.
But it doesn't matter. He's on the list as one of the founders. Find him. Let's find him.
Listen, how I move, bro. That motherfucking shit you did 80 years ago, that shit don't mean nothing to me, bro. I'm out here moving, pushing this culture now.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is...
I don't worship men.
No. I'm talking about for the information. Remember what you said earlier. Earlier you said that, if it's for the history, then yes, it's important.
Okay.
So if he was mentioned as one of the founding fathers, wouldn't it make sense to interview him? And then you also mentioned that
getting no Bambaataa interview. We know that.
No. But then you also mentioned that he never claimed to be one of the founding fathers, or we haven't heard him say that. Let's put it like that.
Yes.
So wouldn't that be a good interview? I think that'll be a fabulous interview.
Yeah, but that shit gonna be too raw for him. I don't think he could take me because I'm
when the last time we heard Kool Herc speak?
Exactly.
That's how we know it's going to be too raw.
So
He might want to be heard.
So what he got to hide?
No, he might want to be heard, bro. Some people
not with Doggie Diamonds. I think he will go to a safe place where he's gonna get pampered. And I'm not, because listen, I'm not here to say you're Cool Herc and I got a bow if it wasn't.
No, it's an interview. It's just an interview.
He wouldn't do it.
I'm a fine Cool Herc.
He wouldn't do it because again, I have critical questions to ask, because even when we talk about this hip hop thing, right? At what point did you abandon your post in hip hop?
I don't know what's going on, brother. I'm just saying that.
No, because because when we think,
did he abandon his post though, or did he just retire? These are questions that should be asked.
Don't retire in hip hop.
Jay-Z retired.
Okay, for what? An album, summer. You don't retire. You understand what I'm saying? And if you are the founder of something, and we must follow your foundation, right? Right? Then what instructions did you ever give for us to follow?
So we should just throw the whole conversation about the foundation out the window right now.
They ain't found shit to me. I'm just keeping it real with you. Not to me.
Well, who found it?
The people. The struggle of the people.
All right, let's bring it home. What do you mean by the people founded hip hop? What did these people look like? What was their ethnicity? Was it a mix? Was it a gumbo? What was it, brother?
Okay,
we're gonna take it home with that.
I'm gonna say it definitely.
Paint the picture.
I'm gonna say it was black people. In communities, it was poor black people, and you had scattered different ethnicities. But we got to remember too, in New York City, it was a segregation of that shit too. Sometimes, like Jamaicans ain't hang with black people, Puerto Ricans ain't hang with black people. So that shit was an anomaly. That shit wasn't no.
But what I'm saying is, just like the Cool Herc conversation, are you able to pinpoint and say and get anybody to verify that, or this is your theory? Because I'm trying. That's your theory. Because I don't know who.
Yeah, everything is a theory, bro. Everything. Because again, how could we speak on what was founded and we wasn't even born to see it? And
well, I mean, it's supposed to be documented, though.
Now, look, let's keep it real. A lot of people ain't gonna like me for saying it, but I'm gonna keep it real. Some of the people who was there are fucking crackheads. Man, so how they going? I don't listen.
I knew this was coming. I don't
listen to crackheads.
I knew this no filter.
So there's no way you're gonna be a crackhead.
Looney Coons, come get them.
It ain't nothing you're gonna sit there and try to tell me, because did just smoking crack abandon the culture?
My goodness.
No, seriously.
I knew this no filter.
So when I think of the culture and I look at KRS and I look at Kane and I look at Rakim, I say thank you, man, because the shit before you, that chemical warfare done hit y'all hard. And some of them don't even have records. They never even made a record. They never made a record.
Timothy Taylor say I blame Nino Brown.
That's what I'm saying. Now for real, man, we gotta talk about that, because when that narcotic hit us, it affected everybody. And one of the things, this is the documentaries that should be being made. What effects did crack have on the black community then? And what are the remnants of it now? That's some shit that we need to be talking about, because what was music started off of? Columbia Records. You know how old the Columbia Records is?
Yeah, mad old. They had the little dog demonstration.
A lot of it was started off of drugs. What do they push now in the music? The 90s. I get high. All niggas was talking about was being custies. So we yelling at the youth, right? But we love red, but all they talk about was smoking reefer. I like to say reefer too. That's before my time, but I love it.
Reefer.
But now the reefer that they smoking, a dude won't even eat corn. Say it's GMO. But you trying to tell me he took this strain and mixed it with this strain, and that's not grafting the weed? That's not GMO? If they made corn, they making weed. If Dr. Sabi say that broccoli is fake, I ain't eating no broccoli. But
it's Ed OG. Is that Ed OG in the building? That ain't Ed OG in the Bulldogs. He said That ain't Ed OG. That ain't the real Ed OG. Is it? Is it Doggie is tripping on the date? It's just symbolic, bro.
That's
You
why
taking
it's not
way
Ed
too
OG,
literal.
because Ed OG name is Edo, EDOG. So you're not the real Ed OG. So fuck out of here. It ain't no taking nothing no literal. And stop jacking people's names.
They say it's symbolic though. That kind of makes sense though.
All right, but so is the cross.
All right.
So is the cross.
So let me say this. Let me say this though. When you say it was founded by the people, I think if we say that, then that leaves room for all segments of our community to play a part if we wasn't there, and all segments of nationalities or descent origin to play a part because we was
so let
not
me ask
there.
you something. You think Puerto Ricans was listening to James Brown?
Yeah.
nah, fam. They was listening to Tito Puente and shit like that. The heck of they wasn't leaving no fucking.
They was, man. They was listening to James Brown. James Brown was hot, man. He was all right. Now you might say Al Green, but James, man, James crossed all cultures.
So when that break hit, because Rapper's Delight is what? It's chic good times. That's what that is. That's an interpolation of good times.
Right.
All right. So it was from old funk and soul records. That's where the hip hop beat came from. James Brown is one of the main ones. His drummer name was Bernard Purdy. Look it up.
But let me say this. This
is what I'm saying. If this drum break is what started the hip hop, the music section of it, and somebody wanted to grab the mic and bust, that was poor motherfuckers in the hood. But again,
but listen, let me tell you this though, Doggie Diamond. I think we get displaced with the era of time and the way that we see things through our lens. Because I remember after the Vietnam War, right? And I was young then.
I wasn't born.
I was young, right? I was young. But I remember after the Vietnam War that there was a lot of Vietnamese coming to America, and they came into communities, right? And they lived the lifestyle that regular everyday people lived in our communities. And so it wouldn't be a stretch to say that Puerto Ricans, because the first place, even Mexicans, the first place they come to is the place where they can afford the cost of living. And that's normally where we're at. So it wouldn't be a stretch of imagination to say that
Bronx in the 70s, though, it was more abandoned buildings than it was.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Most people that come from countries that or the Caribbean, where they come here to try to make a better living for themselves, they can't afford much other than the places that already tore down. So it would make sense that it was a mixed culture there during the development of hip hop.
Have you heard of Disco King Mario?
Nah.
They say Bambaataa swagger jacked him. So this is the homework that we have to do.
Who is Disco Mario? Can you tell us who he is? I'm gonna look him up after the show. Bro, you know, you the encyclopedia on this thing.
All right, so this is the homework for people. Look up Grandmaster Flowers and Disco King Mario. And those are people who might have predated these three guys that everybody want to talk about. See, I could give the FBAs the argument to look up.
Right.
If y'all want to disqualify them, it ain't Coke La Rock. It's people that prior to him.
Whoa.
You had different places in the Bronx. Disco King Mario was. Hold on, let me do it for y'all right now. Let me do it for y'all.
What about Debbie D? You ever heard of Debbie D?
What, Vicious Beat? You talking about in Beat Street?
No, it was they got the sister. She came out. I'm not familiar. You know what I mean?
All I remember is the first one of the first female MCs. Did I click
Debbie D? Yeah, they said it was,
I remember Sha Rock.
Sha Rock, right?
Yeah,
but they got her, Sha Rock. But Debbie D they saying is one of the first female MCs.
But guess who did a rap record as a female too?
Who that?
Blondie, step into the. That's a rap record. Millie Jackson did. I Had to Say It. Look up Millie Jackson. I Had to Say It. You know what record label that was on? Spring Records. Spring Records. Guess who owns Spring Records?
We got some vets up in here. You mean MC Debbie D from Beat Street and Queen Lisa Lee?
That's what I said. Debbie D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Us girls can boogie too. Sha Rock. Yeah, Sha Rock. Yeah, from
then
Beach Street.
that's my favorite. That's my favorite movie right there too.
But now
That's
look,
my favorite hip hop movie. I don't care what nobody says.
but it was Puerto Ricans in Beach Street. Ramo was Puerto Rican.
There we go. Rainbow!
Yeah.
Rainbow!
But look though. So
let's just ask Chat GPT.
You had Shy-Rock. She was in the Funky 4+1, if I'm not mistaken. The Fearless 4 was Devastating Tito was in that group. And even Charlie Chase is in the Cold Crush Brothers. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kaz might have tried to disqualify Charlie Chase. I'm not sure. We got to ask Kaz. You understand what I'm saying? So Kaz was there.
Bro, we need you to get them interviews, bro, so we can go over the Doggie Diamonds, man, and just, we know you're going to ask the unfiltered questions, bro. This is why I'm saying we need you to get them interviews.
I'm going to reach out to, I think, matter of fact, Lord Jamal might have covered it. Shout out to the bro, Lord Jamal.
Yeah.
I think doesn't get enough credit in this
that's my bro.
Journalism that he deserves. So everybody subscribe to the Guard Cast.
Absolutely. You know, that's my bro. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So again, if this argument is founded that Black Americans created hip hop, can we go after the power structure now? Because I'm with that.
It's too late. I think you know what I mean. The water has left the cup. You can't put it back in.
The water left the cup. What the hell type of analogy is that?
Bro, just take a cup of water and dump it on the ground and try to put it back in the cup.
So
it's over. It's a wrap.
So what's the point of knowing who founded hip hop? It's a
money grab. You said it. It's all propaganda for money grab.
But does it okay?
At this point, it's a money grab.
So does some knowledge that you obtain give you esteem though?
Yeah,
can it give you esteem?
Of course it can. Of course it can.
Okay.
But some of that esteem can be hollow too, which means that it's an illusion.
According to, but you can't say that. It's according to who received the esteem. See, because you got to remember, right?
I mean, if it's bad information and it builds your esteem, then that bad information is going to fade out eventually.
But if the good information is that y'all love the culture and we started it.
Right.
Because this, I'm going to tell you why this argument is. This argument is what Fat Joe said and Busta Rhymes said. And those are two biggest stories in hip hop. Like, you got to take the shit they say with a grain of salt. I'm just be honest with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Up. Not bust.
You got to take the shit they say with a grain of salt. Because Busta Rhymes once said that him, Biggie, Jay-Z, and DMX was all in the same high school. That's fucking cap. Big ain't go to school. I grew up with him. You know what I'm saying? He was
Big was on the corner chilling.
You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? He might have been enrolled in there, but he didn't go to damn school. You understand what I'm saying?
What's up, doggy?
Back then, he wasn't Biggie Small. He was Fat Chris. You understand what I'm saying? So, the stories, for some reason,
I think he said they was battling in the hallway or something.
Cap. So
remember that story?
Cap. Now, this is the thing.
Cap.
Everybody who's FBA or even Black America, even if you don't subscribe to the FBA ideology, we're wondering, and this is legitimate that we all should wonder, how come Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes got these huge voices out of nowhere? But they're not one of us. But they're one of us when it's convenient. But they're not one of us.
So what about this? Why no one in the peer group is responding?
The same way they let Mona Scott do Love and Hip Hop, and they're not going to respond because it's their friend. Hip hop has a secret society where they don't go against friends. So they'll watch you do fucked up shit to the people.
Well, I think the first thing it need to be is disqualified, as we talked about earlier. If it's not disqualified, then I mean, people get mad at me, say that somebody in the chat said Tariq Bay is a Tom. No, I'm giving a real question that if it's not disqualified, and that's the common thought, that's what people going to say. They're going to say Kool Herc is the founding father of hip hop, and he's of Jamaican descent. Case closed. Until somebody disqualify it.
Doggie Diamonds ain't jacking that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying somebody's going to have to disqualify for
But who
real.
can though? But who can?
This is what I'm saying. For real, I know that it's a hustle to even have this conversation from Tariq Nasheed.
Let's take Tariq Nasheed in the hustle.
Absolutely. Who else is having a conversation?
It was a conversation though.
But who else is having it right now?
Man, these dudes so busy.
I'm talking about those in the hip hop field that take care of their family. That you know what I mean? Like we need to get Ali Vegas back on.
But you got to realize most of these people are bought and sold. They got a master, man. They got to serve the master. They got to serve the agenda. You think running your mouth gets you money? It actually don't. You think the truth gets money? The truth is lonely and broke. The truth is lonely and broke. To where your own people, who's your immediate family and your children, or might start saying, "You okay?"
Right.
The truth is lonely. The lie is friendly. You got a beautiful lie and an ugly truth. What do you think? People want the beauty or the ugly? You understand what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
When you get down to the nitty gritty of who founded hip hop, again, can we go, because that should be entered in this reparation talk too.
Ain't no more reparation talk.
I'm giving people ideas. We still have to throw our ideas, bro.
Ain't no more. It's done.
So we still got
off to the next.
So
crack cocaine ain't popular no more. It's time to sell pills. That's it. For the low vibration people that don't understand, crack is no longer selling like it did in the 80s. Now it's pills, and now it's weed stores on the corner like liquor store. That's it.
So the
move on to the next product.
The ADOS people's not talking about reparations.
No, they still talking about reparations.
Okay, so this is for them to pick up then. Whoever wants to pick it up. If we are the founders of hip hop that made billions for corporations, recreating music has been equivalent to fucking slave labor. Look what it's done to us.
Woo.
As we celebrate in hip hop, look what it's done to us, G. Dutta Man, dead. Keisha, dead. Hip hop, more rappers are dying and invoking violence and killing and snitching in this fucked up mindset from hip hop. So where's Kool Herc? Where's Flash? Look what Bambaataa done got accused of. Where's these founders to say, hold on, that's not what I started this for? So until they talk, they are qualified for me. Because if I built a building with my hands, you're a carpenter. So you capable of, if you build a building with your goddamn hands and you see somebody pissed on the floor, I ain't build this for y'all to piss in here. I don't care if I come 20 years later, you're going to be like, my labor is in this building and y'all tearing it down. So again, that disqualifies people from not being to talk, because if Flash voice got taken from him, but Adam 22 voice is louder than Flash.
That's my point.
That's on the people then. But
you
that's
see what I'm saying? So look, so here's the network. So the one that's making the documentary goes to these same networks that you're talking about to promote this madness.
He gonna come on through. I got faith in him. I think
he ain't coming. He
I
might. I hope he do. I hope he do. Yeah. And I hope that he does, and the real questions will be asked.
Well, now you questioning me.
No, because if you don't, I'm calling, bro. What you doing?
The difference is I've always asked everybody real
absolutely
questions. I've always done that, but I don't want any future guests to ever feel like they're coming to be attacked.
I feel you on that, but you have never. I don't feel like you ever attacked anybody.
No, but people,
I feel that you ask real questions.
But I'm sitting with you, so it might be like, yo, this nigga gonna be sending him questions. I don't take questions from nobody. I don't take ideas from nobody. I never even wrote a question down. Did you know that? I've never wrote a question down in my whole time. I've never wrote a question down. You know what I'm saying? And I think he deserves the right to explain the mission.
No, he explained it many a times. You want him to explain it from your perspective. I got it.
I want to hear it.
You want to hear it. You want to hear it with your questions. before him. But he explained it many a times, and it doesn't make any sense.
But that's the type of individual I am. I will say to any individual, you have to make that make sense. Because if the dollar's not backed,
that's why you ain't
gold,
getting no interview.
brother, if the dollar's
you
not
better not
backed,
say that.
listen, if the dollar's not backed by gold, and they say the value of the dollar was gold, now it's not backed by gold. That's why the dollar don't have no value, right? So if you say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I don't have anything to back what I said. If I tell you, yo, I'll smack this dude, and you see me go outside to get punched in my mouth, yo, where was your smackings at, bro? So again, I believe in tangible shit that you can actually see, smell, touch, and taste. You can't just tell me anything. You can't, that romance language don't work with me.
Host, before we get out of there, bruh, I know about hip hop. You don't want this smoke. I know the history. I lived it. I don't know who host the Carlo is, but you're welcome to hit me up at talkabig@gmail.com. And I would love to hear what you got to say about hip hop, because we don't have no time
I don't
tonight.
want to smoke, or you don't.
I don't. No. He might be talking about somebody or talking about one of us. I don't know. But I'm not a hip hop historian. I just know trends in hip hop.
Host DeCarlo, which your last name is kind of sus to me, because DeCarlo is not a FBA name. So I would disqualify you out this conversation. That's for one. For two, if you never had
Doggie Diamonds FBA.
Look, no, I'm listen. If you never had a record deal, if you never made a beat, if you never rapped, if you never been a DJ, and if you never managed anybody, then you can know what all you want to know, but you've never added on to the culture. You just a know-it-all in the barbershop. So if you're talking to me, you don't want no smoke, because I done interviewed and documented hip-hop. Have you? So you ain't talking to me, fam, at all.
I'm looking at these comments, but Doggie Diamond. So at the end of the day, this whole conversation, I mean,
you think it's for naught. You think it's
no. This whole conversation brings us to the conclusion that it will never really be definitively agreed upon or revealed
who started hip hop.
Started hip hop?
Because now we got he say, she say, this motherfucker might have been smoking crack for 30 years. He done lost his memory. He don't got no teeth. Like, what are we doing? You understand what I'm saying? And again, when we think about hip hop is those elements. Let's not forget that. Hip hop is the elements. If them elements wasn't all in that room, in that place, then it wasn't hip hop. It was DJing. So right now,
so we can't say that is native New Yorkers that descended from slaves. Nor can we say is it Caribbeans that came over here. I mean, I think it's fair just to say, okay, we don't know at this time. The jury is out.
But all right. But now we got to look. Caribbeans who came over here. Why y'all don't play reggae?
I mean, I think that conversation become it can go anywhere.
So y'all just omitted reggae and y'all created hip hop. I ain't jacking it. I'm just not jacking it.
Right.
I'm not jacking it. I know KRS-One is loyal, right? So he's gonna say certain things. I'm just not me. Doggie Diamonds ain't jacking it.
So, but if you don't go with that, then we need the one that you are behind that says created it.
I'm gonna look a little bit. Now look, we love battle rap, right? We love battle rap. Could we say,
not like I used to?
All right, yeah, because it get out a little crazy. Can we say, let's say the history is gone and battle rap started. Can we say that's hip hop? Can we say battle rap? Can we say battle rap started hip hop?
Can we say battle rap started hip hop?
Let's say we had no history, and the first thing we saw was Murder Mook and Jay Mills battling, and then 30 years from now, can we say that is the start of hip hop? Can we?
Not if they define hip hop with those elements.
Exactly.
Not if they define hip hop with those elements.
MCing part. Where's the DJing? Where's the graffiti? Where's all that shit? Shout out to you, Jay Jermaine. Thank you for the super chat too, even though it went to him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying.
Come on, Doggie Diamonds.
No,
Even
you
though
gotta
it went
keep
to-
it. No, I'm
Nah,
happy.
just
I'm
play.
happy. I'm happy. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
you know, that's
So
my
thing
brother.
is-
Doggie Diamonds, my bro.
So what
Doggie
I'm
Diamonds, my
saying
bro.
is-
Thank you, Jermaine.
So what I'm saying is that they want to put a date on it because, like the above conversation started, they're going to be able to monetize it. Just like when you go in Target, you start seeing rainbow shirts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Bro,
everything
that's
is
the whole
it's
point
red.
that I'm saying about a lot of this stuff that we see on the internet. A lot of this stuff is just marketing for a cash out on the back end.
So let me go with him on 1 second. If he doesn't believe that this trilogy of dudes started the culture, should he not seek the answer?
No, I think it is. There's nothing wrong with seeking the answer, but trying to cash out on something that is redundant and this is a series of, bro. This is not like somebody say, okay, I'm going to do a deep dive and I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Is it
And
him? But is it him or is it everybody though, bro? Because see, me, that's what made me pull away from the whole conscious community as a whole. It was great information. But then when I realized the niggas say, hey man, drink this water, man.
that's the point.
I'm like,
That's
oh,
the point.
calm down.
So listen, after this, the hip hop thing come, there'll be another problem that or issue or conflict in the media and say we need another documentary on this, and it's a never ending thing. But you claim that you're fighting for reparations. So I mean, even if it wasn't, forget Tariq Nasheed. Say it wasn't Tariq Nasheed. If it was a person that keep on giving us these bogus solutions or bogus research, or like, I liked Hidden Colors. You know what I mean? I got the boot. I still got the bootleg right here. I liked it.
The bootleg.
Bro, I got the bootleg. That's it.
I was
from.
don't do that, man.
No, I do. I had it, bro. I had it. I just was that type of hood at the time when it came out.
I got that issue.
But what I'm saying is, I liked it. I liked it, bro. I can't say I didn't. But the moment that I was able to really examine it, I was like, oh man, this is trash.
I won't do that because, again,
I didn't say it publicly. This is one of the first times that I'm saying it.
The only reason why I wouldn't say it's trash, because no matter what I feel about it, it might be people's entry level to knowledge.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is like the knowledge is not accurate, brother. All right. That's the point. It's not accurate.
But it's up to you to research and not regurgitate, right? I'm here. I can't give a baby a piece of steak.
But let me tell you, let me say this.
Let me tell you this, right? Let me say this real quick. So when people ask me, yo, what should I read, man? I'm trying to, increase my knowledge. I say, yo, it's a book by Akil called From Niggas to Gods.
Right.
Read that part 1 and 2. Once you read that, like when everybody started as God body, you didn't get all the lessons. You might have got the stool and the Roman first. You might have got
that makes sense if it's genuine. But if it's profit driven with just mumbo jumbo thrown together information, then it changed the whole narrative, is my point. You know what I'm saying?
So then you got to disqualify Kaba. You got to disqualify Claude.
I can.
But they the ones who was on it though.
Yeah, bro. Kaba makes a statement. That the Moors, the term Moor means black. And he's emphatically saying this. The term Moor means black. It's just another term for black. Kaba is extremely wrong.
Everybody think that though, right?
They can think what they want. It's extremely wrong.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's many other points in there that's extremely wrong. So the point that I'm making is, if he called these people Dusty Hoteppers and then pulled them in to sell and market misinformation because it became popular and the infiltration was on the way, because the conscious community could have made a difference because it was a grassroots effort to really bring knowledge to people until people started seeing that money, and we know who we talking about. And it changed real fast. And he was one that left the pimp scene or just changed the pimp game into grabbing these same people and putting them in front of a camera, cleaning it up, and then sold weird, crazy information.
Hip hop
Even
is the same thing though.
Absolutely. But this is the point. And so being in the position, in the seat that I'm in, I'm like, man, this guy attacked me. This guy weird. He just went crazy. Let's look behind and see why. And what I discovered is that it's all a calculated money grab. Like we said before, how in the world do you do 20 or more crowdfunding off of each and every documentary? You ain't make no money off. And we speaking of Hidden Colors, it goes into to in history as one of the greatest documentaries independently made. But no money.
No, I'm pretty sure it was capital.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was capital made off of many things. The deal is, I would ask him, are you a capitalist?
Of course.
But no, you can't answer him.
I mean, I think all of us in some regard have elements of capitalism.
We do, but when you are a capitalist at the highest level, all you give a fuck about is the money. Shit, you'll sell somebody sheetrock and say it's crack because you're gonna get the money. You understand what I'm saying? See, when you're a capitalist, you really don't care. You know what I'm saying? The money is the most important thing. We all have capitalists, right? Because we know it takes money to make the world go around. And I don't ever want no audience to think that I don't want no money and I don't care about money. I do. But am I willing to give up my MVP? You know what MVP is?
What's that?
Morals, values, and principles for money. No. I'm not willing to give that up because some things is going to bother me. You know what I'm saying? Some things will bother me. Why? Because I have a conscience and I have a heart. And I can't want what I don't have, right? And I don't feel like in having this, I'm competing with people who I don't want to be like. These certain people is not my heroes and sheroes. So I don't need a Rolls Royce to pull up to the hood because that's just not my thing. Now, if I obtained it the way that I am, then I would feel it's more rewarding. But if I know I did some bullshit to get it, I'm going to feel a little bad about it. That's just me. That's just me.
Right.
Right. But I know that what is the biggest money maker of the world?
It got to be hip hop right now.
The trauma and pain of Black people.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
So anything that's dealing with our trauma, our pain, it's money to be made. And what happens is we come together and we say, yeah. And then somebody could come with a solution, or just even they think they discovered a voice in the individual. And then they believe in the person, and we don't start believing in the solution. Everything has to have a solution. Again, I said it earlier. We can't create new problems for solutions. We got to create solutions for problems. Okay, this is what's happening. Okay, if you don't brush your teeth, your breath stink, your teeth fall out, your teeth is yellow. I can't complain if I had yellow teeth. You be brushing your teeth? Nah. Well, if you brush your teeth, they won't be yellow. We don't want to hear that sometimes, bro. You got to remember, we love the problem because the solution sometimes, right? Is not, it might require a lifestyle change. It might require some growth. Sometimes we don't want to grow and change. Like I wouldn't like polite got you for money. Are you stupid? Because that's what I gotta call you after a while. You understand what I'm saying? So I have to, because there's no way after all this time y'all still giving that man money. Even with the school. Fam, what's going on with the school? I need a definitive answer because I got this check for you. You ain't no rapper. You ain't none of that shit. I don't want to see none of that. I want to give you this bread. What's stopping it from happening? This, that, and the third. I got that for this. But if we was dealing with street rules, which everybody want to act like they from the street, because when niggas get mad, they want to say how tough they are, where they come from and all that, right? Street rules is this. If I give you money for something and you don't make promise of what I gave you the money for, you get your ass whooped the next time you get caught out there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So now people are not getting solutions to what they're giving their money to. That's on them, bro. That's on them. People really believe that magic is real. You know that, right? People really believe he stabbed.
Absolutely.
So do we get mad at the magicians, or do we look at the people like y'all believe in this shit? Do we get mad at the magicians? See, that's what I wrestle with. If people want to be sheeple,
they say DD a philosopher.
Look, if people want to be shepherds, right? If people want to be sheep, do I get mad that somebody was a better shepherd than me? Again, look at myself. I'm Doggie Diamonds, all it did in the culture. Vlad got 5 million subscribers. We've interviewed some of the same people. Black people will tell me, you ain't shit. You want to be like Vlad. Oh, take them glasses off. You look stupid. That's all the shit that my people say that to me and say they won't subscribe to me, but to subscribe to him. So until we start showing each other love and support, this is where we at. This is just where we at. And I don't have to come on here. I don't have to talk bad about Tariq, Umar, fuck Polite. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to talk bad about anybody like that. Fuck Polite. But I'm just saying I don't have to do that, right? But people will still find a reason not to like me. And I'm going to tell you why. You know why? Because they don't like themselves. And I remind you too much of you. Because in 24 hours, look what I chose to do with my 24. You spent about 16 of them getting high and drunk and smoking cigarettes or chasing some shit.
Where we go with this?
I'm just saying, because this is the shit that people need to hear. We are the greatest people on earth. So if we're going to use the term FBA and we're going to talk about Black Americans and our greatness, we got to live in that and actually manifest that through our ways and actions every day. We can't be known as I roll the best blunts. I smoke the finest of weed. I hit the baddest chick. She twerked the best. That's not nothing for us. It has to be something tangible that for centuries coming, this was our proudest shining moments. So now look, if we go, he could say we got a hidden history, right? Now say the world was an apocalypse right now, and they discovered anything from us as a culture. What could we say as Black Americans we did great in 2023? I'm asking you. I'm asking the audience.
Well, my thing is, I see the world so different, Dougie Down. I see the world so different. I don't look at us as on the same page. And I mean, it is what it is. I don't look at us on the same page. So when we say what have we as a group have done great in 2023, I can only look at individual pockets that I feel that's relative. You know what I'm saying? That's real relative. It's very relative. You know what I mean? I see a friend of mine. I watched him over the years have a podcast like this. I watched him become a doctor. I watched him to open his own restaurant. Man, that's greatness to me. You know what I mean? It doesn't take what we have done. Him and his family got a store. I mean, and it's fabulous. It's beautiful.
You watch the Olympics?
No, I'm not into sports.
Are you aware of the Olympics?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Right. You know the Jamaicans was kicking Sha'Carri Richardson ass for a long time, right?
I'm not aware of that, but I do know Sha'Carri won.
We shunned her because she started smoking weed and fucking up, and it says she was, she wanted her liquor license and was down with the rainbow shit. So we shunned her, right? But she won, finally kicked their ass. Now, we have to admit, if she's wearing that American flag and she beat Jamaicans, although they're Black, Everybody go for America. Stop capping. The dream team was what?
Absolutely, but it's sports. It's all good.
No, but we can't. Them flags mean a lot.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's sports. It's all good. I think when we're looking at sporting competition, it's not war. It's sports. I mean, it's taken serious. People practice hard. People train hard, and it's sports at the end of the day.
Never seen a sports fanatic?
Absolutely, my brother used to be one.
Crazy.
My brother used to be one. He'll put you out his house if Dallas loses.
This is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, she's got that flag of this country on her back, but we will yell that she's stupid, she smoked weed, she this, that, and the third, but she finally overcame some shit. Where's her celebration at from us?
Well, I mean, I'm not a sports person. I look at agenda stuff and I'll be like, man, that's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. I think everybody have their faults. I think everybody can overcome their faults, and that's just where I'm at with it. But bro, we're 2 hours and 11 minutes in.
That's it.
Man, that's it. That's it.
All right. So before we go, what do you think about? Because I seen a big discrepancy with Burna Boy, and we didn't cover, which we should have covered. The Ebro putting a statement out that he got a call that the labels are no longer looking into signing hip hop acts. They only want African music and Latin music. What do you think about that?
I think because we don't control the music, which we already spoke about, it's a business. And just like any other business, those who control the money that comes in the business, they can control the narrative of where it's going to go. We don't control it.
So reason why I'm asking you this.
We don't control it. So, I mean, I think anybody that would cry about that, anybody that would have a problem about that, I think the thing is I'm a solution-based type of guy.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Create a situation where we can maybe get control or some equity of this with the situation. But what can you do? What can you do?
Okay, so reason why I'm asking you this is because if this is their agenda, if they only want Afro beats and African music and Latin music, we asked out.
Now we're gonna still have our underground. Like it's like for example, no, we're just not gonna have it on the radio. We're not gonna have it on those big markets. But let me tell you something. Rock the Bells Radio. Shout out to LL. Rock the Bells Radio ain't going nowhere.
Okay, but that's still old people shit.
That's good. That's what we need. Rock the Bell Radios play a little bit of everything.
All I'm saying, that's one thing. And you got Clear Channel and you got Image Communications. Ebro,
that ain't Hassan, is it?
Ebro is a
oh my God.
Ebro is a powerful person, right? Ebro is a powerful person who will he be a tether too? His mama white, right? Is he what we call him a tether?
But Tariq Nasheed wife, she half European, so his children have. So
all right. Damn, all right. So, all right.
So I mean, this can go in.
Get the call, but Ebro would get the call and be qualified though to get that call. He's in the back. He's been in them boardrooms. He was the program director for Hot 97.
I get that, but how can you imagine Jada Kiss making? He might do a bar or some verses over some Afro beats, but he can't do no whole man. Jada ain't letting that go.
He's disqualified. Then they're gonna get rid of that.
But guess what? We're gonna have to be getting it from Jada Trunk then, because we need Jada.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the rabbit hole go deep. I had broke.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with me, like I've been like for just like example for Jada Kiss. Mm-hmm. I've been telling people for years before that face off with Dipset
versus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Before the verses, I was like, man, he is one of the hottest guys that ever touched a mic in the era of I call it like the second or third golden era. He was one of the hottest, and everybody was talking Nas and Jigga and whatever. I always said, and man, so he's not going nowhere.
What I'm saying to you is that, okay, with the documentary is being made, who's the founder of hip hop? Now on the 50th anniversary, they're saying they're deprioritizing signing hip hop acts. They only care about Latin music and African music. Do you know how fucked up that is?
And guess what? While they're doing that, people are going to be arguing who founded hip hop. Go figure.
That was so now you see how I'm bringing it all.
Go
home.
figure. I did a whole show on that.
Yeah,
I did a whole show on that. This documentary, and most of these people that touch on these topics, they got the information before the narrative even start.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that as Black Americans, what we gonna do?
Nothing.
Well, we gotta have
the water left the glass, bro.
Yo, nah,
the water left the glass, bro.
So
you can't put the water back in the glass. No, we're gonna guess what we're gonna do. It's just gonna be like go-go music. Go-go music never had no strong push. Go-go music never had no international push. But guess what? Go-go music thrives even till this day.
Music, though. You know, hip hop tried to save go-go music, right?
But nothing but go-go is in
a thing. Herbie Lovebug was sampling a lot.
Absolutely, but go-go is in a vacuum of DC, Maryland, Virginia, DC area, and it thrives. It's very successful within its area, and that's what's going to happen because we don't control the mass media and the money.
Do Jamaicans and Latins make go-go music?
No, not according to what go-go music is.
Okay, so go-go music and its exceptions is Black people music, right? Which old music is from Black people.
Right? Yeah, all of it comes from us.
Now look how underground that is, and it thrives, but it's local. The labels, the people who pay the checks are saying, because this is what I'm taking from it, then we could go on this note. They saying, okay, y'all serve certain agendas. Y'all done killed up a bunch of people in your lyrics. We done talk about all the bees and hoes that we could. Y'all done said some of the most heinous, degenerate shit y'all could in hip hop, and we paid for it. Now we want to pull y'all funding.
Absolutely.
So what does that do in the street, though?
I don't think it's going to change anything in the street. It's going to be just like I'm saying about go-go. Go-go.
Dude's going to realize that hip hop is not their quick buck. The street's going to turn back up, bro.
The streets ain't never turned down.
The street's going to turn back up.
It's going to
turn back up.
So. I don't think so.
Once you realize you can't get this big money over here no more, they not even signing you. So what are you doing it for?
But a lot of times, bro, you know, Doggie Diamonds, a very small percentage are really getting the big money. Others are fronting with them hollow chains and those rented and leased vehicles. Man, Polite does it all the time.
Perception. But if you got a 0 and you put a 1 in front of it, ain't that some worse now?
Yeah.
All right, you started at a 0, you put a 1 in front of the 0. That's only a 1, so now it's 10. So that's big money for people.
I'm just saying that, man. Listen, regardless of where it goes to, everything goes back to Africa. Whether it was rap, whether it was and not called rap, people go. Somebody told me the other day that hip hop came from Kemet, from Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
I'm just saying that they are moving us out. They are.
Nah, I don't think it's going nowhere, bro. I don't think it's going nowhere. I think it's just not going to be popular. It's not going to be pop music no more. That's all.
How could it not be popular if we think that that's how culture? So what they're saying is they're going to wipe out our culture.
Bro, I've never stopped listening to Talib. I've never stopped listening to J. Cole. Just because if J. Cole don't sell a record or be on the radio, I'm still listening to J. Cole.
Oh, but he's already signed though. They're saying they're deprioritizing moving forward.
But that's from a corporate perspective. That's not going to stop the art form.
Yes, it is. Who's going to pay for this shit?
What you mean? It's people that still want to hear raw hip hop.
Where they going to hear it at?
Come on, Doggie. You better
I'm
come on, man. Come on, Master P, NWA, all that back. It's just going to go back to the beginning, humble beginning. That's all.
Was that hip hop or was that degenerate shit? Let's be honest.
Whatever it was humble beginnings. That's what I'm speaking to. It's going to go back to humble beginning. Let me show you. Let me give you an example. Let me give this up. Remember the era when Beanie Man and Shaba and Dancehall had a big run. Super Cat, all of them had a big run. Then all of a sudden, in the American music scene, it flatlined. Nowhere.
It just flatlined. It was still, but it was still rocking though. Elephant Man was still rocking, but from the high corporate level of putting it out in the forefront, it just wasn't there no more. But guess what? They're still thriving.
I'm gonna be real with you.
They're still thriving though, bro.
I don't really care about what happened to reggae music.
But you're not hearing me. We're not hearing me. Just because the corporate monster decides to cancel it, that doesn't mean that it's going to be canceled, because people live this thing. That's why it's a culture. It's people always going to make it. Some people are going to do it for free. Some people are going to write raps for free because they love to do it. It's an expression.
Anyway, but the point that I'm making to you is that when the corporate funding,
that's what I was saying right there. Dancehall is huge, just not in America. That's the whole thing I was saying.
All right, exactly. So if it's huge, just not in America, then what the hell is this FBA conversation?
No, listen. I was giving an example. I was giving an example that just because the corporate monster decides to cancel something, that doesn't mean that the grassroots and people that enjoy that being expressing themselves in the art form is going to stop.
But I'm giving you.
It's just going to create another market.
What I'm doing though is I'm giving you the FBA argument.
Right. I got you.
How do you say we only care about African music and Latin music now? What about our shit? What about our creator? Y'all done got trillions off us. Now y'all saying we not even messing with y'all no more,
bro? Because you said it was a slave plantation anyway. The slave owner can say he can kick you off his plantation.
Exactly. But again,
you said it.
Now look, let me tie it in. I'm gonna tie it in. So when you say this is the origin of what we did, they gave it to Tethers. They gave it to them, right? They gave it to Tethers. When we were doing it, we weren't allowed to do it unless we fuel their agenda. Now they're tired of our agenda and they want to take it from us and say we deprioritizing it. Y'all didn't even create it. They created it anyway. And then we're going to bring more of them in to take over music, period.
And that's good. Maybe that will put us in a position to create our own platform and to compete with those. And we'll have our own.
That's cap.
No, I said maybe. Listen. When you have a problem, you present a solution.
Okay.
The problem is, hold up. The problem would be that no big record label giants are willing to fund this art form no more. So therefore, we need to create our own platform now and boost our own credibility and bring us back to equal competition in order to have our own. Don't we want our own?
All right. So let me ask you something.
This is a theory. Don't we want our own? How do we begin to get our own? Sometimes this is my wife always said to me. She said, when you don't do something, when you don't do what you're supposed to do, Allah will force you to do it. And so in this situation, when you're looking at the music industry, we should have been had our own. So now if the slave holder decides to kick you to the curb, you should be forced to create your own.
Okay, now in many instances we have our own, but we don't have the funding to do it our own.
No, you create your funding.
How? From where?
The same way Wu-Tang created theirs out the back of the trunk. You go back to the basics.
Oh, you believe that documentary?
No. I'm just saying many people were selling DVDs. People still sell CDs right now in the front of the mall.
Nobody buying no CD.
I get this is what I'm telling you, but people still do it. The point that I'm making is we got to understand the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that sometimes we are forced to create for ourselves. And we gotta stop depending on the machine to keep on bottle feeding us. And if they take the bottle from us, so what? On to the next.
Now, realistically, when you go through issues on YouTube, as well as some of the videos is yellow, copyright strikes and all that, right? Mm-hmm. People say, "Oh, we need our own platform." You won't even hit the fucking like button.
Right, I get that.
We need our own platform. What we need to do is start supporting what we got, because if I have this infrastructure, right, and Doggie Diamonds TV gets to 5 million subscribers and all that, then I can hire some of y'all black asses. But you so busy hating on me, and you want to go to the fucking others That's why they got what they got, because they showed they could bring in the numbers and have the analytics. It ain't like I don't have the content, but you got a problem with me. That's what I'm saying. We hate on each other so much. We never gonna have shit.
But bro, Doggie Diamond. The only thing I'm saying is to your point of what you're saying right there. To your point of what you're saying right there. You're going to when you're in front of that camera, you know you're going to have, especially on this YouTube thing, you're going to have 20% of haters, and they just louder than the 70 or 80% of support.
So just admit y'all like the white man.
I mean, no, you're going to have the 20. The 20% don't deserve our attention.
Just admit
the 80% do.
So why?
Because you couldn't thrive. You couldn't thrive the way that you do on your channel without the 80%. So the 20% don't deserve our attention.
Just admit y'all like the white man.
They don't like they're not people.
No, just admit that pale flesh you enamored by. No, for real. You gotta admit it.
Listen,
because you got
bro, you couldn't do Doggie Diamonds with 100% of hate. You couldn't do it.
I'm not talking about hate. I'm just talking about non-supportive people. If
you couldn't do your platform without 80% without a significant number of supporters. So you got more supporters. We just give more attention to the loud people. No, I don't give them attention.
Motherfucker got 5 million. I got 275,000.
Yeah, I got.
He got 5 million. If we take all our platforms and put them together, we will never be able to compete with No Jump. They got 10 million.
But you got to understand this too. You don't have you're a little light, but you don't have the right complexion. So he's appealing to a broader audience than you.
No, he's not.
Listen to me. He's appealing to us, but then he has the Europeans who think that they're us. He has the Chinese. He has all of these people. You know what I'm saying?
It's not them. It's fucking black people, man.
We the 5 million people his subscribers.
Yeah.
Don't know Europeans watch Vlad.
He doesn't provide the content that they.
Bro, Europeans think that they know hip hop just like everybody else.
But he doesn't even talk about hip hop. What hip hop has he ever covered?
But what I'm saying is to Europeans or people that don't know the deep in-depth education of what hip hop is, where it comes from, and what it stands for, he attracts them.
No, he don't. All he appeals to is degeneracy, black dysfunction, and niggas love black dysfunction. I'm telling you.
But I'm just saying his audience just not all us though.
I don't agree with that. I'm gonna,
5 million, bro.
I'm gonna try to pull up his demographic. I'm gonna try to pull up his demo.
5 million, bro.
Try to pull up his demo. I'm gonna try to pull up.
I see if you said that about what's the chubby guy name? Academics. I can see if you said that about academics.
He have something youthful. He will have something youthful.
He has the youth, but I'm just saying the whole thing in a nutshell. I don't think any of that is going to play a role in expanding and building any platform. I think what you do stands for itself. It stands by itself, and it's unmatched. It is what it is.
So again, what we want to know, people like
sometimes less is more. Is that a cliche?
Not when you got to pay a light bill. Yeah.
Hey, BG&E, I ain't got enough. Baltimore gas and less is more.
Con Edison, yeah, less is more. Don't worry about it. They love me. Like look, lights out. They just get dark up in this moment.
Hey, bro, you know what we need to do? We need to do this again, bro.
Show. We need to have a bug out show.
We need to do this again.
Let's conclude this. Let's sum this up. So to sum this up, a documentary is coming. There is no way we can ever determine who the founders of hip hop are. Those 3 guys, I ain't jacking it though. I'm gonna be real with you, just me personally. But I don't think it ever could be anybody who we can determine.
There.
And if I'm gonna put my money on it, I would give it to us first. I would say
you're supposed to though. You're supposed to give it to the whole team. You're supposed to. I wouldn't listen. I'm the same way. I love hip hop. There's nothing. I thought I would grow out of it.
You know what I'm saying? I did. I thought, because I'm from outside of the culture as it relates to demographics.
Yes.
So I thought I would grow out of it. You know what I mean? My sister was listening to Michael Jackson records. I was sneaking and listening to Coogee rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I was like, I would get in trouble all the time. You know what I mean? And I thought that one day I would start listening to this R&B stuff that my mother was listening to. And it never happened. I'm still brother. I'm still writing today, not to get paid, but it's an art form. It's an expression.
So let me ask you something, Tahaka.
It's a release.
From what we spoke about tonight, what should the audience take from it? Oh, two things: Grandmaster Flowers and Disco King Mario. That's who I want them to research. So they got homework to do.
Indeed.
Grandmaster Flowers and Disco King Mario, because they names come up from some of these greats, and some of these greats put them before them, especially Disco King Mario, because he's from the Bronx.
I'm gonna look that stuff up.
Yeah, Disco King Mario, and yeah, it gets deep.
What I want people to get from this is that in reality, all of these conversations that are turning into DVDs, which nobody even buy anymore, Blu-rays that nobody even buy anymore, all of these conversations are good conversations, but it's nothing that's worthy of dividing us from those who is from the Caribbean, those who that is from Tennessee, and those who from the Bronx. There's nothing that big, that serious about this conversation that's worth division, and there's nothing that big that's worth us to go at each other maliciously. You know what I'm saying? And now with this conversation, there's a lot of maliciousness that goes with it that people don't see coming from FBA as a malicious group. Or good goodness gracious, they get mad at you.
What I want you to do from here is find you some Caribbean people and interview them.
Absolutely. But I want to say this. And I want to say this. And another thing that I want us to take from this is that Doggie Diamonds is my brother. You know what I mean? That's my friend. You know what I'm saying? And I value his opinion. I value his facts that he got from history of being a journalist of hip hop. You understand what I'm saying?
Created it and actually a part of the creation.
Absolutely. So I value that. And he's and he tells you off the break, if you don't like everything that he says, family, listen. He tells you right behind his back, Doggie Diamonds, no filter.
Absolutely not.
There's no filter. That's what it is.
No I'm not in here for a popularity contest. I have the truth. A lot of times most of the time when I do my show, I'm going right on that Google. I'm showing you shit because I don't just pick straws out of the hat. Me personally, I don't believe these three guys created hip hop. I think they got credited for it. I think it was a date put on it. It's like this. When you start talking to a female, right? And you be like, yo, I think we started talking in August. What date? Fuck it. Let's just say August 11th. That's our anniversary. Right. And that's it, because you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's a day for everybody to get hype. But again,
somebody did say it was symbolic, though. Somebody did say that.
So is a cross. Do you wear crosses?
Right.
I don't care about it. You know, you ain't giving me no symbolism, because hip hop is our symbolism. People don't even know about Juneteenth. There's so many things that people don't even know about. You worry about the damn symbolism the day of hip hop. Come on, man. It's what I want to say to the audience, right? And this is important. There is more to Black culture than hip hop, right? It's more to our culture than hip hop. We got to really, really dive into our culture as Black people. If we feel like we descendants of slaves, or there's more to our culture than hip hop. That is something that came out of our culture, but that's not our only culture. In the way that it's being ran on us, that's the only culture we got, bro. And reason why they doing that, because they control it.
Of course. And that's why I think it's a hustle.
Yeah.
That's another reason I think it's a hustle.
Well, I think it's a greater hustle than anybody trying to hustle it, but the hustle comes from
No, there's levels to the hustle.
Yeah, it's levels.
You got the mega hustle, and then you got the ones that's going to get the crumbs that trickle down. But even those crumbs are beneficial as it relates to social media conflict.
Like a church.
There you go.
You got Catholics, but then you get Christians that say they're not Catholics. I'm a Baptist, I'm a Lutheran, I'm a Seventh-day, I'm all of this stuff, but it's all, many of them worship the Pope. You understand what I'm saying? And he'll have on an $8 million ring, and you'll have a storefront church. You know what I'm saying? So it's still sometimes the same information. I just say, man, in the perfect world, I would just be loving on everybody that look like me, man. And we would be all harmonious in knowing who the real enemy is and the plight of our people is. But then something I used to say all the time, we have a hard time identifying who our people is though nowadays, bro. That's the problem. Who is your people?
I agree. So, I definitely agree.
Or what they say, all skin folk ain't your kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? And I get why you doing what you doing. I get both sides. That's what I was here to bring. Both sides of the understanding that you had and the understanding that they might have. But
brother, have you ever my last question, have you ever witnessed an agenda? Have you ever witnessed an agenda that is uncovered after it has been completed? Well, say the death of Malcolm X.
Yeah, the end result. Yeah,
the end result.
Well,
my point is there's an agenda going on right now, and we should be on the pulse of it, and we shouldn't take it lightly. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't take it lightly, and the evidence speaks to a chain of events that, if looked at clearly, kind of like an investigator would try to solve a homicide, if you will, you know, looking at it clearly with a clear mind and adamant that, hold up, we're going to be sure about this. This is what's going on in our community with these identity conversations. This one in particular, FBA, you know. Now, there's some people and brothers and sisters who are sincere and follow that and subscribe to it out of sincerity and out of the philosophy that was given to them. And they mean well. But I'm saying it's deeper than rap.
So you just don't like the messenger, basically.
The messenger has been sent. And every part of that message is malicious. Every part of that message is divisive. And every part of that message is right off to the bank. Has nothing to do with a movement. There's no elements of a movement, none whatsoever. And I would debate any person that won't get up here and cuss me out and bring.
Not cussed out?
Man, I get cussed out all the time, man. I mean, I don't mind it because it comes with, you know, when you go in front of this camera, you got to expect the most weird things.
You can't talk to minions. You got to talk to, bring me your leader. Bosses speak to bosses.
No, they don't. The boss don't speak on this one. He's not a leader. That's another thing.
I'm just saying.
No, he's not a leader. He said he's not a leader. The code is the leader.
Yeah, but you become a leader by default when you have the biggest voice.
See what I'm saying? See, now you say, see what I'm saying?
You just do. Like I could say,
when you call people under the umbrella of an identity or an ideal or a concept, you become the leader of that. When you create it and you define it, you become the leader of that. You can't say I'm not the leader once you create it and define it.
Like how they say they're the leaders of hip hop. What did I say earlier? Why they don't speak out against them?
There you go. But when you create something, if I created Moorish World TV, it's another Moorish World TV out there. It don't bother me. I created Moorish World TV. I'm the leader of Moorish World TV by default.
So what's the code?
For who?
You
for
said
the code is the leader. Oh man, if you ask 10 people tell you 10 different codes. I don't know, bro. It's like a one of them little locks. You know what I mean? Combination lock. You know what I mean? The code.
I mean, sometimes you know we got the knowledge, we got the wisdom, but then different people got different understandings.
Right. Let me read this and get out of here. Thank you again, Jay Jermaine. Salute to Doggie Diamonds. Screw what some of these haters are talking about in the chat who failed history in school at all level. Come on, Jermaine. They're my peoples. We all good. No, we have a bunch of disagreements, but we don't be disagreeable. Let me see what somebody else say. I agree. Yeah, but we don't be disagreeable and we don't get ignorant and rude. That's just what it is.
Yeah, because even on this topic, again, my job is to be impartial. I'm not here to be for Taharka, attack Taharka, just like I'm not here to be for FBA or be against them. I'm going to be me. When I walk,
and I said that you,
yeah,
hey, brother,
I walk in any room, I'm myself. And me
hey,
and
brother,
him talk tomorrow, talk later. I'm going to text him or whatever the case may be.
Hey, brother, didn't I tell you on the side? I said I don't want to put you in between the series that I'm doing with Tariq Nasheed. I said I don't want you in there. I'm not going to go in that direction. I said I might use his name sometime for context, but I don't want anybody to ever think that I am weaponizing, and that's the word I use. I'm weaponizing you on my show for this, but I will use his name. And so I want, because I look at the interviews that you do, the interviews that you've done. Your interviews are straightforward. They're full of integrity, and there's no way in the world that I want anybody to believe that I'm bringing you here to weaponize my position. Or to use you to weaponize you or your platform to substantiate my position.
But if you was able to do that, that means I was just a sucker.
But I'm just saying, but I put that on the table off the record. I put that on the table on the phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no fact. But again, the audience, if y'all know me, y'all know can't nobody make me do nothing. If I don't want to get my hair cut, I don't care.
But we just want to put it on the record and for the record.
Put it on the record. And
absolutely.
My thing is to him, I still want to interview him because I do have questions. And listen, when you write and exact and you write, we gotta go with what's right. I can't go for what Taharka say because I gotta hear it from the horse's mouth, and I'm willing to do that. Now, when you put out certain information, right, then I can look at your information and I can ask questions based off the information, because that's the main thing that we don't do, right? We gotta ask critical questions,
right?
And everybody who I asked, everybody who I ask questions is not always going to be comfortable. It's not to make you comfortable, but I'm not here to attack you either. It's just many people want to know. You know what I'm saying? And with chat room say, listen, I'm about to go take me a shower and sleep like a baby. I ain't even think about shit like that. I got work to do. But I appreciate you.
Thank you again, bro. And I think I might have to come over there and we get a heated little.
Nah, we could go. We could go.
But bro, let me say again, family, I really, really do appreciate you taking time out, bro. Because every time I call you either in the gym, on the treadmill, you're doing something. I don't know if you're in the gym, but I know you're doing something. And so and I know you could be doing your own show right now. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you coming through, family. And y'all need to show some. Y'all need to put some respect on it, fam.
Go that 5 million.
That's right. Go to Doggie Diamonds on YouTube, subscribe, and family, listen for the podcast, family. If you're just driving and you DoggieDiamondsNoFilter.com, family, log on, listen to the podcast. It is what it is, family. You're gonna get some raw, uncut, no filtered hip-hop commentary.
Shout out to Morris World TV. You had some shows that just had me weak, especially when you had, I think you was battling some of the brothers. I don't know if they was from the Nation of Islam or they was from a offshoot group or was that?
I don't want nobody to debate me no more, Doggie Diamonds, because every time I debate, he called me a monkey. Remember that? I was whipping him so bad, he called me a monkey. He supposed to be disciplined FOI.
Yeah, that wasn't Eric Muhammad, right?
That was Eric Muhammad.
Damn. I like Eric Muhammad.
I like him too, bro. I don't know why I thought we was gonna have a friendly debate, and bro, he jumped out the window on me, man. But I get it, man. You know, when this information can really. I mean, you dedicate your life to something, and then somebody like ask you a question or put something out that you can't defend. Of course, you know what I mean. But I mean, if I can't defend, I'm just saying you got that one.
Yeah.
You got that.
But I have questions to ask everybody because I know people really be wanting to know. And it be clarity that I be needing sometimes, because if somebody can answer questions and I can understand you via our conversation, then you got my full support a lot of times with people. And I be supporting people from afar anyway. I just question division, and you got to be able to explain the division. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be getting some explanation. That's why I question a lot of stuff, and I get some answers via Instagram, via Twitter, and then it just turned into a shit show. Like one of my Instagram posts, I'm gonna say it, and if whatever side of the coin you on, you can go look at yourself. And I said, I can honestly repeat. I said the relationship between Black Americans and Black non-Americans is getting really spooky, and that just went crazy, like 350 something comments. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
do you know somebody's like 3 people sent me that comment?
Yeah, it's just getting.
I am one that truly supports freedom of expression. You know what I'm saying? I don't support maliciousness. You know what I mean? I would never be malicious to nobody unless they malicious to me, and I wouldn't even be malicious on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But I don't support that. But nevertheless, somebody say
we told both.
No, bro. They say if you get the interview, would you get Tariq to say his real name? Would you ask him?
What is his real name?
You would ask him?
Yeah, well, it would have to be in the context of why it mattered, though. I can't say what's your real name. If you ask me what's my real name, I'm not fucking telling you. My name Doggie Diamonds.
No, what I'm saying is, if I ask you, if I was to ask you, I'd say, which it's not important, it's irrelevant at this point. If I would say Doggie Diamonds, where did you get the name Doggie Diamonds from? What does it mean? What's the history?
I can tell you automatically.
Huh?
I can tell you automatically.
Absolutely. But I think that would be if somebody wanted to know the history of Doggie Diamonds, how did you metamorphose from your as they would say government name?
Gregory Lewis. That's my real name.
Everybody. I mean, you well know. But what I'm saying is, how do you go from that to Doggie Diamonds? And I don't think that would be a hard question for you to answer.
Yeah, but when during your research, it might come off malicious because you're saying he got an alias or 2 or 3, right?
No. I'm saying that he has tried to hide his name for over 30 years. So I know his name.
So
I discovered it.
Nasheed?
No, that's his legal name now. Okay. But why did he try to hide it for over 30 years?
So that's not the name his mama gave him, is what you're saying?
Absolutely not. No. Oh, no.
So he has more than one name?
Of course.
So when his name was it K-Flex?
K-Flex, right.
What was the K?
The K was from Cosmo Flex, the original rap name.
Oh, he's a rapper. That was his name.
That was his rap name, Cosmo Flex.
Cosmo, like the sun, moon, stars? Cosmo?
No, like Cosmo, like Cosmo Kramer.
Fuck is Cosmo Kramer?
from who is Cosmo Kramer, everybody? Come on, man. Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld.
I don't watch white people show. I ain't watching no Seinfeld.
Cosmo Kramer, the racist guy.
That's where it came from?
I don't know where it came from, actually. And those are the questions that you will want to, those are the questions that people want to know. It's a question of interest. How did you come up with the name Cosmo Flex? What does it mean?
What would be the relevance of asking that question?
Hip hop. He was a rapper.
Okay, so if I ask Jay-Z, your name is Jay-Z.
How did you come up with Jay-Z?
But you're asking me, so I would ask him, how did you come up with Tariq Nasheed?
No. If I was to do an interview, the first I want to get people familiar with people. So I would say one of the things that is a hot topic is, and it's a mystery. Now you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but were you born Tariq Allah Nasheed? And how did that name come about? What was your name before Tariq Allah Nasheed? This is what people want to know, and from a journalistic perspective. And then you build it up if that's what you want to do.
That's a hostile question. You don't ask nobody.
No, it's how you ask it. You don't got to ask it like me.
No, but you're not supposed to. But again, if I never knew your real name, and I knew you as Tahaka Bay, I wouldn't ask you. The people want to know what your real name is. That doesn't make any sense
It does make sense. If it's of interest from a journalistic point of view, it does make a lot of sense.
But who wants to know though?
What do you mean? There's people been asking for if people been asking for over 10, 15 years. What are you talking about?
I don't see. I'm not privy to that.
That's the thing. So that's what I think from a journalistic point of view. From a journalistic point of view, if you're interviewing somebody and you want to give people the framework, this is how I see it. And I want to give people the framework of what I'm talking about. And the hot question that you've been avoiding as a true journalist, I want to say, would you mind answering this question so we can get the elephant out the room? That's
okay. So he now, if he answers a question,
he's fully aware of it.
No, if he answers a question with a question, what most people tend to do, if he said, "What is the relevance?"
You keep it moving. You did your job.
So we just gonna come with that he don't want to answer, and that's it.
That's how you got to do it as a journalist. Ain't that how it goes? You can't force somebody to answer a question.
No, but see, I get answers to everything because I know how to ask people stuff. But the point I'm making is that if I say to him, "What is your real name?" or "Yo, the people want to know what is your real name," he would say, "Why? Why do they need to know?"
I get that, and you keep it pushing. You keep it pushing because that's what he's been doing, though. And then so now you're not. So now, huh?
You play chess?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah.
You don't know how to play chess?
I know how to play chess. I don't play chess.
So I'm saying my thing is I think 4 moves ahead of people already. Right. So I know I kind of know what people is gonna say before. That's why I don't write questions down. So if I ask him what's his real name, and he knows that people want to know his real name, he's not going to answer me. He's not going to, because what's the relevance of people wanting to know his real name?
The relevance is because he's an agent. And there's evidence that he's an agent and he has covered it up for over 30 years.
Okay.
There's the evidence that there's a story online that that he's allegedly in federal custody. Now, this is going to take you really extreme over the top.
Yeah, this is
It's a story that has broke over probably 10 years ago. Him being Marcus Sanders. That's one of his names. His being Marcus Sanders. Marcus Sanders was one who in Detroit was in a shootout, not in a shootout, in the drug trade, trafficking drugs. The witness got caught. They all got caught. They let them go before trial. Marcus Sanders was convicted of shooting this guy at a gas station. This Marcus Sanders, people allegedly says that this is Tariq Nasheed because his father is named Sanders. His sister is named Sanders. There's evidence that his name is Mark Sanders by pictures that people accidentally posted. The research says that he's allegedly this guy, that he was taken by the federal authorities. He was taken by the federal authorities, supposedly convicted with life in prison. When you look at the prison record, there is no Mark Sanders in the Marcus Sanders in the federal penitentiary where he's supposed to be. And this guy is supposed to be Mark Sanders.
So
Marcus Sanders. So all the evidence that has been put out is alleged, circumstantial, and he never answers the question.
So these same agents, and he's an agent, they allow him to go on the internet and speak on white supremacy?
What do you mean? It's controlled opposition. They don't let him do anything. These are assignments. See, when you get into the social get into the social movements of our people trying to come out of a social slumber, these people in history, they're controlled. I've done many presentations on this, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
It's controlled opposition. This is control. It's kind of like Grandmaster Jay. People think he's in jail. He's making videos right now. Grandmaster Jay, that got people to come out their backyard with guns. You know what I'm saying? People think that he's in jail. He's making videos right now. But he's supposed to be serving a 7-year sentence in the federal penitentiary. How is he making videos on YouTube with no noise in the background? Clearly production equipment that sounds kind of like this. Bro, it's so deeper than rap. It's so deeper than rap that we have been monitored for a long time. And a lot of the monitoring comes from people that look like us. This is why, and this is my next presentation on Tariq Nasheed. I'm going to show how he literally was there during the pimp era when Snoop Dogg was saying pimps up, hoes down, and he came out with the pimp persona. And then right after the pimp persona, a conscious community, quote unquote, was beginning to have its rise. And then he entered into the conscious community. The identity with ADOS was beginning to have its rise. And then he entered into that. See, way back in the 90s, when what we call gangster rap was beginning to have his rise, that's when he first appeared as Cosmo Flex. So what I'm saying is, the point that I'm saying is that even the drug transaction, allegedly, on paper, Marcus Sanders was working with them people. But even in the drug transaction, he was placed in there.
So he's
according to that name. It's deeper than rap, bro. So what we're looking at is one who is entering, putting himself allegedly, in theory, putting himself in the midst of popular society, popular social movements, if you will, if that's what you want to call it, that has the ability to change the narrative of our people.
All right. So what I want to ask you before we go is, besides him making money, right? What has been the negative of what he's doing?
Misinformation, disinformation, and confusing and dividing people.
And that didn't take place before he did that before.
No, but we're focusing on him. We have other division. We have other divisive measures in our community, but this is intentional divisiveness that have been sent. See, that's different than somebody on the corner and they're disillusioned and they're getting high and they selling dope and they're shooting at each other and they're robbing each other. That's one thing. But then there's another thing when you have the government actually sending people in to cause confusion and divisiveness, and they're being financed to do this thing, and we continue to follow it as if these people are iconic figures to making great moves for our people. This is what happened in the 60s. This is what happened with the Black Panthers. That's how Black Panthers got tore apart, because anybody that they send. This is what happened with the guy Karinga, who created what is that called? Kwanzaa. You know what I mean? He was a known agent. He came in and did what he did. But at that time, people still listen to him right now, to this day. People still follow Kwanzaa to this day. So the point of the matter is, do we turn a blind eye just because somebody produced some trinkets? That's how we got into slavery in the first place. Following these little trinkets, following these little things that we think mean something to us. Hidden colors. We think it means something to us. The maroons. This stuff is debate. This stuff is debate to keep a certain sector of our community facing one way when the bag is being taken this way and all of the political power is being taken this way, and we just stay following this stupidity right there, and it's there by design. That's the point that I'm making. So I want you to look up. Now, you got some homework. Google Marcus Sanders next to Tariq Nasheed.
Hold on one second.
But that's only one of the names.
Hold on 1 second.
That's right. So this is why, and for everybody else, this is why these series are so important, because it's deeper than a grift. As I broke down on my show the other night, there's 3 elements of manipulation that goes on in our community. One is a soothsayer that they can talk good, that can talk slick, and that can get you to do anything they want to do. That's and people might not like it, but one of the people is like 19 Keys and Arisa Islam. They really nice with it. And Grandmaster Jay, really nice with it. Just a smooth talker. I mean, just correct, charismatic and everything. And then you got the grifter, the manipulator. That's the polite. He's a smooth talker, but he talks a bunch of foolishness. But his whole focus is just to grift you, to get your money out your pocket. That's his whole focus. So the smooth talker and the charismatic manipulator, his focus is not necessarily that. His focus to cause the distraction. You know what I'm saying? To keep you distracted. But then you got the one that wants to get your money. That's a polite. Although he can talk the talk sometimes and get away with it, he wants the money. Then you have the one that is a little bit of both. That's the Tariq Nasheed. He's going to smooth talk you. He's going to articulate himself charismatically to convince you that he is who he say he is. And then he's going to sell you something. If he just put out some deodorant, he's going to sell you something.
What?
Yeah, he got deodorant he just put out. He just put out some deodorant. He sold so many things. But listen, he done sold pepper spray. When the brother got shot by the police, he said the brother should have got the pepper spray from him. That's why he got. It's another story. So the point that I'm making is it's so much deeper than people keep seeing the title of Tariq Nasheed on my page. You know what I'm saying? The title of Tariq Nasheed on my page is really covering so much information that has not been uncovered yet. You know what I'm saying? Many of the information I've uncovered through deep research, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. So at the end of the day, Doggie Diamonds, the only thing I'm saying about people like Tariq Nasheed, we can't be confused because he produced a documentary, a DVD. He produced these things. Where do we live at? Where do we stay at? What boots on the ground? Bro, I just seen you over there with Q Butter. Q Butter is a boots on the ground grassroots guy. I seen you over there rocking with Q Butter. You rocking with Q Butter. That means that you boots on the ground. You real about this. You real about this school thing. You real about educating children. But when you look at a person like Tariq Nasheed, you don't see this guy in no venue that celebrates the uplifting of people. Everything is a money grab because at some point there's a ceiling to the people, the money. I would imagine at some point there's a ceiling of the money that he receives from going on these missions. These are simply missions. And every time it's going to be another one. If he don't abandon ship or they pull him out, it's going to be another one. After FBA, there will be another one. Every 10 years, there's a new one and a new one. For the last 30 years, it's a new one.
So why nobody believe you?
Nobody who says nobody.
I mean, no, I'm saying I know you got believers, but why isn't your information popular information?
Why would it be? It wouldn't be popular. The reason why, how would it be popular? We don't control the algorithms. We don't control it's kind of a rhetorical question. For one, no. What I'm saying is we don't control how the information gets out. We don't control that.
We kind of do, though.
No, we control what we put out. We control what we put out, but we don't control how many people it reach at a given time. We don't control that.
But like I said, when the motherfucking pale face motherfuckers do shit, that shit get out there.
But it's okay because again, they got a team on this. Only thing, listen, where I'm at with life is I put my best foot forward. If it reach, it reach. If it don't, it don't. It is what it is.
Hell with that. I ain't sitting nowhere for 2 hours talking my head off.
I don't have no problem with it. Guess what? You know what I mean? I don't have no problem with it because guess what? This is not my source of income. There is.
No, it's not about an income.
No. What I'm saying is, my benefit is that people that really appreciate it. Remember, I was talking about the 80%. The 80% supporters that appreciate the research that I do, that really take time to listen to the logic that I put forth, that really take time to share it and send a cash app, or you know what I mean, send hit the $sign. This is for them. This is not for the 20% that don't believe or don't care and that's going to go and fund another movie. This is not for them.
Reason why I'm asking you this, because if it's people, again, if it's people that say everything you said was 90% the truth, then it's people that's covering it too.
Of course. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any day ones that you can bring on your show tomorrow?
Fuck all them niggas. No,
I'm asking you, do you have any day ones that
probably
you can bring on?
Cousin. Probably my cousin.
Your cousin. Okay.
Yeah, I say fuck all of them.
If you get a chance, but you do have day ones, I'm sure. But if you get a chance,
fuck all of them.
Listen what I'm saying. You say your cousin. So cousin is official. Cousin is official.
Yeah.
When you look at a person like Tariq Nasheed, there is no history there, brother. None.
Oh, you talking about I have somebody that I could bring that could verify I am
who you are?
Okay, yeah, definitely.
From Brooklyn.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my point. Not saying you're
I called AA Rashid live the other day.
No, it's good. It's cool. This is the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that Tariq Nasheed has a blank history. Before people knew him as Tariq Nasheed, there's nothing. Blank. That's it. And even his life as Tariq Nasheed is all mixed up and in shambles.
So we have no school records, no kindergarten pictures, nothing.
Look it up. Nothing. It's been wiped. I'm telling you, every 10 years from the time he was Cosmo Flex, he changes his persona. Every 10 years. How you think FBA so people think I'm on FBA. I'm not on FBA like that. I think it's an excellent concept, but it's a label that was given and defined, probably not even by Tariq Nasheed. Probably not even.
When I looked up the definition, I didn't have no problem with it.
No. Yeah, listen. Let me say this. The only way that people can get fooled, the only way that people can get tricked, something have to be appealing about the trick. It can't be raw, dusty, dirty, and unconventional. It have to be convincing. That's how people get tricked.
Yeah, but my thing is this, though. If I believe in something, that don't mean I got to part with my goddamn money, though.
No, not you.
This is the question that people need to answer. Like, okay, again, if I buy if I gave you $1 for water, I'm going to get water. You're not going to say, there's no promise of water. You can't say, yo, we're building water fountains. What is a water fountain in Louisiana got to do with me right now? You understand what I'm saying? So this is the only thing with people when you deal with crowdfunding, donations, and different things. How what you giving up your money to? How is that going to help you?
Right.
And I don't think people ask that question.
But I think what happens is because some crowdfunding are legitimate and they're sincere, and some people just want to help a cause.
I love crowdfunding, but
they might just want to help a cause. And so when people convince people that it's a cause that maybe not benefit them directly, but may benefit somebody else, they will support. But now what we're looking at here, that if you made a DVD and this DVD has been slated as one of the greatest independent DVDs ever put out, and 20 DVDs later, you getting $100,000 plus per crowdfunding DVD, no profits going. This one that he's doing right now about hip hop, he said, "Yeah, everyone's saying that I need to start a crowdfunding." He's dropping the seeds right now to get everybody to pay for it, and then when he put it out, they're going to pay for it again. That's the routine. They don't get them free. You got to go on Amazon and buy that demonstration. They ain't getting it free. Everything that the crowdfunding paid for, he sells back to the crowd. And man, there's so many levels to this.
No, I get what you're saying, and you feel like as somebody that you're telling people not to be fools, right? That's your mission.
No, my mission is that he called me a registered sex offender, which I'm not. And I went to research him and I discovered so much stuff, and I got to bring it to the people.
Okay. I get you.
I got to bring it to the people. Now, do I expect 100 out of 100 people to be convinced that, or even listen? Absolutely not. Only a small few, you know the degree of the 5%er, you know what I'm saying? Only a small few will probably get it. But nevertheless, when you stretch your arm that far and you're able to, I can go to a house to do some home improvement work, and a person said to me, well, no, I'm not sure. I need to look into some things. I seen a video that the guy, Tariq Nasheed, put up, said that you are a registered sex offender. Are you a registered sex offender? You go to that extreme. You got 1 million collective people watching your video. You go to that extreme. You know what I'm saying? And
I thought they kicked us off because I ain't hear nothing you said for a few minutes. Yeah, they gonna kick us off. They got, get your asses off here. Yo, let's just. I heard everything.
Somebody sent the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. I was running my mouth, but yeah, bro, we'll continue this on another time, bro. I appreciate you.
But I'm gonna again, I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna reach out to him and try to get an interview because I got some questions that I need to know, just for clarity purposes. And
call Sarnetta. Him and Sarnetta cool.
Sarnetta don't ever answer me sometimes, but I could. Yeah, Sarnetta don't answer me sometimes. Sarnetta must. I think Sarnetta, you got.
There we go. I'm sorry. There it is. DJ Kool Herc Technique used the breaks in the records, and that's what birthed break dancing. There's a reason hip hop blew up in NYC first, and not Alabama.
Yeah, but break dancing wasn't always on the floor though. Breakdancing was just moving. You just dance to the break. They didn't. You think niggas was spinning on their head and all that stuff? Who was the first? Who was the first breakdancers?
See.
Because as we know, right, only people we see when they talk about breakdancing, they go straight to they go straight to Crazy Legs. Crazy Legs is Puerto Rican.
Absolutely.
And he'll say, he don't really say he started it, but that's who they anointed. You get what I'm saying? But we'll be going on and on.
That's what it is, family. Appreciate you, Doggie Diamonds. Let me tell everybody about my next show. Thank you so much. Go to Doggie Diamonds TV and subscribe. So with that being said, family, this was a long interview. I really didn't mean for it to go that long. Good goodness gracious. And somebody said that in the chat. Somebody said, you and Doggie Diamonds going to talk. You and Doggie Diamonds can talk. I don't know who's going to let who talk. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, it kind of got off topic about hip hop. But nevertheless, it's all good. It's all content. And I hope you enjoyed it. Again, man, I'm tired now. You know what I mean? But anyway, family, I'm gonna see y'all on Saturday, family. And you know, this was a long one. And like I said, I usually try to keep my interviews and shows an hour and a half. We've been here for 3 hours, family. I'm tired now. Doggie Diamonds can talk. I can talk. And us together is a mean combination. But again, family, these are opinions of myself, Doggie Diamonds. And let me tell you, take all opinions with a grain of salt. But when I do my show with the receipts, then you can question the legitimacy of the receipt. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. Bang, bang, boogie. Stephen X. Thank you. Black Girls Read and everybody else, family. I got to go. I'm going to see y'all Saturday. You know what? I probably see y'all Saturday. I probably go live. Ed OG. Salute to Ed OG. I probably go live from a friend of mine as the opening at his restaurant. Y'all know him as Dr. Asar. The Real Doctor. He will be opening officially his restaurant, and I'll be there to cover it. So I probably will go live from my phone to cover it and ask him some questions, and hopefully you can be inspired. We have to create our own paradigm. When someone tries to shut us down or shut us out, we just build it from the mud. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. We don't cry to get in the door. We build our own door. We don't get all upset because the door slammed in our face. We look the other way, keep pushing, and build our own door. That's it. That's all. We always talk about we need our own. And sometimes, just sometimes, maybe the conditions are set for us to create our own. And maybe it's time right now. Mellow Streets and everybody else, peace and love. Good night, Black Sun, Dr. Queen, all of y'all, Stephen X. Have a good night. I see y'all Saturday. Peace and love.